BBC's Samira Hussein following developments.
Emergency crews are already at the scene, which appears to be a residential area near the Ahmedabad International Airport. The Air India flight operates from Gujarat to London Gatwick 4 times a week.
Dozens of bodies have been recovered, according to rescue crews, and local police say it appears no survivors. Fears of a conflict between Israel and Iran over Iran's nuclear program are growing. It's prompting the U.S. to evacuate some non-essential personnel from the region. Attorney General Bondi says the Trump administration will use all of the tools at its disposal to safeguard people and property threatened by riots in L.A. and elsewhere.
Right now in California, we're at a good point. We're not scared to go further. We're not frightened to do something else if we need to.
More cities seeing rowdy demonstrations over enforcement of federal immigration law. Senator Rand Paul planning to propose a drastic cut in funding for border security in the Senate's version of that big, beautiful bill.
The House version of the bill calls for some $150 billion for border security, but Paul, who chairs the Senate Homeland Security Committee, says only about half that will be needed. He says that's especially true since border crossings have already plummeted after President Trump was reelected. Just one reason Paul believes his committee can trim tens of billions of dollars from the House bill. Bob Agnew reporting.
President Trump expected to sign a measure today blocking California's ban on the sale of new gas-powered cars by 2035. On Wall Street, the Dow futures down 177 points. NASDAQ futures off 59. More on these stories, townhall.com.
Let's see, if something costs less, a lot less, but people are actually happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MetaShare. Maybe you've heard joining MetaShare can save you or your family up to $500 a month, and that's huge, but it's also true. People are just happier with it. They love being part of something that reflects and promotes their values and what they believe in. MetaShare works, too. It's been around for 30 years now, and members have shared more than $7 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, really, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care, whether you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan that you're happy with. Here you go. You can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. It's 844-41-BIBLE. That's 844-41-BIBLE. 844-41-BIBLE.
More than 400 employees of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention will be going back to work.
2,400 CDC employees lost their jobs in a wave of cuts across federal health agencies in early April. Whole CDC programs were essentially shut down, including some focused on smoking, lead poisoning, and workplace safety and health. About 200 of the reinstated workers are based in the CDC's National Center for HIV, viral hepatitis, STD, and tuberculosis prevention. Also reinstated are about 150 employees at the CDC's National Center for Environmental Health. I'm Haya Panjwani.
A government minister says the death toll in flooding in South Africa's Eastern Cape province has risen to 57. Rescue teams now searching for the missing. The missing include 4 high school students. They were swept away when their bus was caught up in the flooding. 6 students who were on the bus were confirmed dead. News and analysis at townhall.com. President Donald Trump is winning support from swing voters in his response to the Los Angeles protests over his mass deportation.
U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has conducted raids across the country and have faced large protests in Los Angeles as the Trump administration pledged to carry out the largest mass deportation in U.S. history. Mr. Trump has deployed California's National Guard to assist in the quelling of violence, despite objections from Democrat Governor Gavin Newsom and other local officials who said bringing in National Guard would only escalate the strife. Impact Social data shows a plurality. 32% of swing voters are responding positively to Trump's response, while 19% are responding negatively. Bernie Bennett reporting.
Inflation barely rose last month. Cheaper gas and cars offsetting some costlier imports. Consumer prices increased 2.4% in May compared with a year ago. President Trump continues calling on the Fed to lower interest rates. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, Whatever scum did this, not one man on this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The demolition, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. Welcome to another morning without Mike Winters. Yes, I ain't he. That wouldn't be me. No, Mixmaster Mike Winters still off enjoying his vacation. Posting some beautiful, beautiful pictures, by the way, of the Colorado mountainside there as they take the train into Silverton. And yeah, it's just an exciting, history to kind of dive into. And I know Mike is nothing if not a massive history nerd. So this is definitely scratching an itch for him as well. But the trip continues on through I believe tomorrow, and I think they're going to take maybe half a day on Saturday and then start heading back down round Roswell way. So, but Mixmaster Mike off enjoying his vacation, so you got me for the rest of today and the rest of the week. Luckily, we're on the back half of that week, so you don't have to endure too much longer. I know, the negativity. I need to stop with the self-deprecation. I think we're doing okay. Hopefully, your Thursday off to a fantastic start. I don't know what it is. I'm not sure if it's just the fluctuation of, first it's like 120 degrees and then it's like, 65 at night. I just had a really hard time turning over, like actually going to sleep last night. It just sort of laid there, kind of deep in my thoughts. And then I had one of those moments where, like right before you're about to go to sleep, right before you're about to just cross that threshold into unconsciousness, something just pops into your brain and just like ruins it for you. There's a meme that goes around. It's a little 4-panel comic where the guy almost is asleep, and then his brain goes, "Hey, you almost asleep?" He goes, "Yeah, leave me alone." And the brain just pops out with a fact. I had one of those very similar last night. It was actually a reference literally to that meme because there was a story that I'd stumbled on a while back. And it's sort of a story that has stuck in my mind for a while. It's an old Reddit post about a guy who went hunting with his grandpa. And he said he and his grandfather watched as a deer essentially walked up to a rock and just unprompted started smashing its own head against that rock. Then tried to lick the remains of what he just smashed from his skull, was unable to use the rest of his skull. Then it said he stood up like a human, walked into the river, and proceeded to fall over and die. He said, my grandpa proceeded to, we never went hunting again, and my grandpa moved to Florida with his wife, he said, for safety reasons. And then that thought in my head just went ahead and existed for about 35 to 45 more minutes. Then I basically got up to do a quick lap of the house, maybe wear myself out, a little bit. Didn't work. Finally, right about 2:30, I fell fully asleep, only to be awoken by my alarm at 4:30. So I'm operating on about 2 hours of good REM sleep. So we'll see where this morning takes us. But that being said, happy Thursday. Hopefully yours off to a great start. Got a beautiful day ahead of us. Looking like the clouds are subsiding. The heat of the summertime season is starting to make its way back around Roswell way. We'll have a check of your forecast coming up here in just a few minutes on this Thursday morning. Let me give you the rundown for this morning's festivities. We're going to kick things off here in the 7 o'clock hour here in just a few minutes. We're going to replay the interview we had yesterday with artist Greg Birch and author Cindy Sloan Butts, as well as her husband Ron Butts. Had a great little conversation, kind of diving into the history of the nonfiction, the historical fiction that Cindy writes, and also Greg and his process. So we'll dive into that interview coming up here in just a few minutes. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, around 8:15 or so, we are scheduled to have Miss Charlotte Gourlay, who's the new director of the Roswell High School cheer team. They want to come in here and talk about the upcoming 25-26 season and their plans moving forward for the Roswell High School cheerleading team. And no, I'm not talking about the Charlie's Angels. This is different. This is the cheer team, and they're going to be here to talk all about what they've got going on for the upcoming year. We'll get into that in the 8 o'clock hour. Then around 9:15 or so, we are scheduled to have Miss Roswell stopping by to chit-chat with us all about her goals for the year moving forward and what it's like to be a part of the pageant scene. I was never pretty enough to be in the pageant and also never talented enough to be in a talent show. But that's neither here nor there. We're going to talk to Miss Roswell and see what makes her brain tick and what her plans are for the upcoming year of her reign. More on that coming up here in just a little bit as well, plus all of your hourly features, which include your Kim Commando update, Sean Hannity update, local news, business report, and whatever else comes our way on this Thursday morning. Hey, real quickly, I did want to mention to you, I'm actually contractually obligated to mention to you that there's something special coming to Carlsbad and the surrounding areas. That's right, it's time to rock because the Carlsbad Gym and Mineral Society presents the 2025 Carlsbad Rock Show. That's coming up Father's Day weekend, June 13th through the 15th, this weekend at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park here in Carlsbad. We're talking geodes, beads, minerals, fossils, petrified wood, gems, meteorites, carvings, jewelry, and so much more. They're going to have silent auctions every 15 minutes and stuff for the kiddos, including the Wheel of Fortune and story time with Miss Michelle on Friday and Saturday at 11 a.m. Door prizes on Sunday as well, and the best of all, the admission is absolutely free to the Rock Show. If you want to go check out the Living Desert Zoo and Garden, which, by the way, fully recommend if you're in the area. You do have to pay to get into the zoo portion, but the Rock Show, absolutely free. Proceeds to benefit the College Fund for lapidary equipment, supplies, and training at the North Mesa Senior Center. It's going down this weekend, June 13th and 14th, Saturday, June 14th, 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., then Sunday the 15th, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Living Desert Zoo and Garden State Park in Carlsbad. And this ad paid for, by the way, by the Carlsbad Lodgers Tax Fund. So get ready for the Rock Show. It's going to be a good one. 13 minutes after 7 o'clock, let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air moving back into our region, so we'll be getting very warm today. Upper 90s and lots of sunshine. Overnight, a few clouds, a slim chance of a shower. We're in the mid-60s and then getting pretty hot again on Friday. We'll be up around 100, lots of sunshine. No big changes for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s to low 100s Saturday and Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 67 degrees round Roswell Way. Humidity is at 79%. Winds out of the southeast at around 3 miles an hour with a dew point of, barometer at 29.98 inches with a dew point of 60 degrees. Looking for another warm one today. Actually, a return to form, if you will. Sunny skies, 97 degrees for your Thursday. Winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour for tonight. Oh, small return of some showers and thunderstorms possible, but most of those happening after midnight. Otherwise, we're looking at mostly cloudy, gradually becoming mostly clear. Chance of precipitation is around 20%. Sunny and hot tomorrow, 100 for the high. Winds out of the west at around 5 miles an hour, becoming east in the morning. For your Friday night, mostly clear, getting down to 69 for an overnight low. Then sunny and hot, 103 for the high on Saturday. That temperature has fluctuated between 98 and 103 over the past 4 days. So let's just say it's going to be hot. Sunday, even hotter, looking at sunny skies and 105 for the high on Sunday. Monday, sunny and hot, 102 for the high. Tuesday, 104. and then dipping back down into double digits, maybe, if it holds out. Wednesday, sunny skies and 99 degrees for the high. I know, it's only 1 degree off triples, but hey, in this day and age, it takes what you can get. 15 minutes after 7 o'clock, going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after these, the interview we had yesterday with artist Greg Birch, as well as Cindy Sloan Butts and Ron Butts on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Maybe your AC unit needs a little tender loving care. If you don't know where to turn, then you don't know Jack. In fact, they're downright funky. Let the boys at Fergie's Plumbing and Heating get your AC unit ice cold, just like some of my lady friends. Don't let any fool make you lose your cool. Fergie's Plumbing and Heating. If you don't know Fergie, then you don't know Jack. 622-2660.
Streep, steep shreep. Sheep Street Silver and Stones is Roswell's newest full-service jewelry store. They offer a complete selection of jewelry, including gold, silver, turquoise, bridal sets, and fine jewelry. They also offer lapidary, repairs, and complete custom design. Shop Sheep Street Silver and Stones, 3020 North Main in Roswell, across from Blake's. Sheep Street Silver and Stones. Hard to say, easy to love.
Did you know almost 75% of the time we're replacing a roof, something totally weird or unexpected or bizarre happens? Jennifer here again from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that we are always prepared for the unexpected. That's why we always have project superintendent on site at your home at all times to handle those weird, bizarre things as they pop up. Things like an unexpected layer of wood shake shingles under your shingles or rotted out decking boards, problems with flashing or ridges or missing supplies that somebody needs to chase down. These are the kinds of problems that normally grind the crews from other roofing companies to a halt and delay the project. But not with our super awesome superintendent there. He's equipped to handle any problem and keep the project moving along smoothly. Just one more way we do things better at Trustmark Roofing. If you have any roofing needs, call us at 575-755-ROOF or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
The Apostle Paul writes a letter to a preacher named Titus who is ministering on the island of Crete. The inhabitants of the island were about as far from God as they could be, yet Paul sends Titus to preach the good news of God's grace and forgiveness. The world we live in today seems like it could not be further from God as well, but Jesus was sent for the world of today too. Hear these words of Paul to Titus. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all wickedness and to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. This same call is open today. No matter where you find yourself, God waits for you to answer the call.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. There are 293 ways to make change for $1. Try all 293 on the guy who keeps borrowing money from you. Here's Mike Winters.
After 9 o'clock on a Wednesday morning without Mike Winters. And finally, officially joining us in studio this morning, author Cindy Sloan Butts, as well as her lovely boo, Ron Butts, and our international world-renowned artist, Greg Birch. How are y'all doing this morning?
Awesome.
Just fine. Just great.
Good to hear it. I love the enthusiasm. No, it's completely understandable. It's you know, when I look at 9:15, I'm like, oh, this is midday. But this is still like right out the gate for a lot of people. And so I gotta give credit where it's due. Now, we'll talk to Greg here in a minute. We'll get to you. We'll get to you.
Don't worry about me.
But I am fascinated to talk to Miss Cindy here because she's an author and she's written some amazing books. But she's a wealth of information on history, specifically on Holocaust history, on World War II, and some of the concentration camps. Tell us a little bit about some of the books that you've written, the nonfiction variety of the books that you've written, and the information that you have inside those.
Okay, just to make it absolutely absolutely clear. My books are historical fiction.
Okay.
So all the history that I include in these books, and so far I have 6 Holocaust World War II books written with 2 planned, 2 more planned. All of the history that you find in my books is actual, is true, is fact, and numbers and dates and people and bad guys and good guys and people we thought we could trust and people that we determined that we couldn't. All of that is fact. The only thing that's not is the plots that I've developed in each one of these stories, and they're not sequential.
Okay.
They are separate individual stories.
So each one is its own standalone device and telling a different story from that time.
Correct. And they all take place in different venues. One of these takes place in the Warsaw Ghetto. Okay. One of them takes place in Sobibor, which is Poland. It's up in northeastern Poland, one of the concentration camps that was established for World War II. One of them takes place in Holland. Okay. Because the world doesn't usually get too much info about World War II and Holland and the ghettos and so on.
It gets glossed over with some of the bigger events that happened in World War II, for sure.
And this one took place in Austria, both before and after it was annexed by Mr. What's his name? Hitler, I guess.
I think it's pronounced Hitler?
Yeah, something like that. I slip up on that. And this one is in France, Versailles, Vichy, in the Velodrome. So with authentic French, by the way.
I like.
Yeah, I do speak French.
Camera.
Oh, hello.
So people could see him.
And then the last one in my stack took place in Hungary.
Okay.
So I've covered lots of Eastern Europe. And
that is a huge net to cast, which means obviously you've done just a ton of research into the events and the timeline of what all went down with.
I read a little, yeah.
Oh yeah, just a couple.
I read a little, yeah.
Which is fascinating because I love the idea of historical fiction because you're, like you said, staying accurate to the dates, keeping accurate to the stories that happen, to the progression of the events. I think that's key to telling great stories because then you can take those events and you can just create from that. I think that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, one of my pseudo critics said to me about Two Papas, which basically is the story of a baby, a brand new baby that was found in Sobibor, and it was adopted by 2 men who were all also prisoners there, and raised the child in secret and then fled Sobibor when it was liberated. And somebody said to me, do you really think that was going to happen, that somebody would actually find a baby in Sobibor and take care of it and raise it, and then they wound up, God help us, in Chicago? And it couldn't be there are a lot of worse places than Chicago.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
My home. And I said, does it matter?
Right. That's the beauty of
fiction.
Writing a story is it doesn't matter if this thing can happen or is realistic.
Feasibility is not an issue.
As long as we're staying true to the facts. I think that the actual timelines and information, that's what gives your stories credence and lends itself
legitimacy
to,
is a word.
Thank you.
That's what I'm in the word business. I'm sorry.
I haven't had my broth for the morning yet.
Your broth.
I was joking yesterday that I don't do coffee or tea anymore. Every other morning or so when I'm dealing with some throat issues, I'll just grab some like chicken or beef broth, just a little bouillon cube. It's a nice little hit of salt first thing in the morning, and it coats the throat.
There you are.
But I'm a little weird like that. So obviously, just a great lineup of stories, and like you said, covering just so many areas and so many different places that were affected by World War II, by the taking of the Jews, the concentration camps. One thing you had mentioned off the air, and I had no idea, is that Auschwitz was the only concentration camp that was doing the tattoo system.
That's correct.
That's amazing.
That's correct.
Because that's one of the things that, grade school knowledge they'll give you of what happened in World War II is they had the tattoos. And that's how they identified themselves after the fact. But
only in Auschwitz.
Only in Auschwitz. That is crazy. So I'm guessing they had other forms of keeping track and
Oh yeah. Everybody who came in had a number. Everybody who arrived at any of the concentration camps was given a number. And whether it was tattooed on your arm or not, you still became identified as D39704, whatever it may be, because the whole idea, of course, obvious or subliminally, is that you've lost your identity. You're a less than human, filthy Jew. Therefore, you are now property of the Third Reich.
And it's one of those things that when you go back and you look at the individual stories, and the fact that your stories are based on his figures that didn't actually exist, that never existed, you're able to kind of go in depth and tell the harder stories, the ones that hit the hardest, without having to feel that guilt of, I'm invading this person's story, I'm invading this person's journey that they went on.
There's enough reality there without having to capture more of it in the histories.
The Netherlands and the Hollands, what I found out on that one is they gave them a green card.
Okay.
Instead of the tattoo.
So it was just a card that you keep track of. I'd lose it.
Good luck to you.
I have a hard time keeping track of stuff.
Yeah, you would certainly find consequences if you did.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah.
By the way, for those of you who may be of Italian descent or British, I have not overlooked those two countries as critical parts of World War II. My next book, which is already in progress, will deal with Italy.
Okay.
And the one after that, yes, England.
And we dive into England's role.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting. And I like the fact that you're still leaving yourself open. It's the J.R.R. Tolkien move.
Right. All things being equal, yeah.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, artist Greg Birch has joined us. Now, one of the things that I noticed beforehand when we were talking off air is there's a certain level of passion that you take, not only in your writing, but in the quality of the books that you're putting out. And that's right up to the book covers, and just how amazed and enamored you've been with Greg and his work, and how each cover takes your stories, takes your tales, and paints a picture, literally, that you had in your mind before he even put it on canvas.
This is 33,000 words without Greg.
Mm-hmm.
With Greg, it's an amazing,
it's a beautiful,
captive, unbelievable, memorable image. So he gives visual quality, visual reality to my words.
Absolutely. And that's something
Thank you.
It's not something that anybody can do. It takes an absolute skilled person. Now, I am curious, Greg, and by the way, artist Greg Birch, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good, sir.
I noticed I turned all their mics on, and he hadn't really said anything the whole time. I'm like, Greg, your mic's on. He's been doing this the whole time. I'm like, they can't hear your head, Greg.
I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. That's okay. We were leading with knowledge, and now we'll lean into the artistry of it all. I am curious about your process when it comes to making a cover for Cindy or for any author. Do you get the synopsis from the book itself, from the author? Do you read the book or portions of the book to get an idea of where to take the cover, or what's your process?
Oh, heck no, man. She don't give me nothing except the synopsis. And that thing can be, just the verbiage can just be very small.
Sure.
And so I kind of just take, like her murder mystery ones here, the Madeira.
I wrote a series of 3 murder mysteries that take place, cozy mysteries that take place in Illinois, in a fictional town in Illinois.
Okay.
That's what these are.
So she gives me a little bit of the synopsis, and it's like,
guilt.
Okay, how can I take this and turn it into, because the book I have not read at this point.
Right.
And on this last one, the wedding bells. Okay. I spelled it wrong.
They haven't let me touch the books yet, so I'm just. I'm just kidding.
Snap.
All the synopsis was basically that there's this mysterious guy, so I had to try to incorporate him.
The synopsis is on the back of the book.
Right.
That's what he got.
Wedding bells and whiskey bottles. Madeira Mysteries. Book 3 is the final book in the Madeira series. Isaiah Tumbleforce was about to marry his sweetheart, Diana Monroe, but they were not prepared for the violence and discomfort that were going to disrupt their lives and those of the people in Madeira. As usual, Isaiah has the presence of an anonymous friend who provides support and encouragement as needed.
Listen to this guy.
I love it. Are you for hire?
You know what? I do cameos, actually.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll get you my card.
And so the guy in the center if you read off the synopsis that you just read on the back, I had to try to incorporate him somehow, which I put him in between them, which looks like they're fixing to get married and say their vows.
Sure.
The whiskey bottles down here at the bottom, that we did not want to pay any kind of copyright infringement, so I got them all wrapped in
bags. I really like the attention to, like, if you look at the silhouettes specifically, like the fact that her hair is disheveled, it shows the level of distress that she's in or the situation that she finds herself in it's not a simple one.
Exactly.
The gentleman, now correct me if I'm mistaken, is that a Sherlock Holmes detective hat?
Absolutely.
That's what I'm saying. So
he's a part-time private investigator.
And so in the silhouette, in just that little piece, you're telling people, you're uncovering layers of the character.
I told you he's amazing.
Absolutely. That's phenomenal. This is just one example. You know, and in the cases of the World War II books, let's take a look here. This, and again, with your shadow work, I absolutely love that.
Well, thank you.
And the cool thing about these shadows here is the
show the people.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It is the opacity, if you will, I believe is the correct word.
Nice word.
Of the
nice
shadow.
Word. You get 36 points for that one.
I think. I've been using my word a day toilet paper.
Love it.
Of the shadow to the words on the pages, but behind them, so that they're not completely obscured.
How about an author credit on that one, on that particular cover? What did I do to that cover that you liked?
Basically, to change that school down there at the bottom.
It used to be blue, and I recommended that we make it brown.
I do like the kind of the sepia of it all. It definitely blends with the older look of the pages here. Note the fingerprint, again, the magnifying glass to denote the... Well, you just lean full Sherlock too, with the pipe. I love that. Now, I am curious. I haven't looked at many of them together. Is this your signature? No. Okay.
No.
Because I love the font choice here. I was genuinely curious. It's a very cool font.
I
choice.
hire only the best. And look at my logo on the back that Greg did for me.
Oh, that's beautiful. See if I can get that up to the camera here. That's CSB Productions, I believe it is. CSB.
Something like that. Just me.
There we go. That is awesome. So prolific author Cindy Sloan Butts, and
she makes it hard for me. I'll tell you what.
But that's the fun of the artistry. She covered her mouth real quick. She has
I have something to drop on you.
Okay.
Are you ready? This is breaking news.
Okay.
Breaking news.
All right.
In spite of all this, the directions that I've done with all these books, in about 2008, I started a book that I called at that time, Hello, Mom. This is your big news, Greg. And it was shortly after Ron and I were married. And I was driving along one day and thought about how wonderful it would be to have a conversation with my mom, who had died when I was 14, many, many years ago. So I started writing what I thought might be conversations that she and I would have if she were available for me to call her right now. And then I expanded it, and I've made it conversations with my dad, who died in 1980, and conversations with my brother, conversations with Abe Lincoln, conversations with his mom, who died shortly before I met him, and a conversation with Beethoven, which I'm working on right now. Yeah.
I'm see, this is the 7-year-old in me. In conversations with Beethoven, was
tough.
His response is
No.
I know that's a horrible
no,
joke.
we have to enable certain protocols, like Beethoven with a cell phone.
Oh, okay.
So we have that, and same with Abe Lincoln and a cell phone, and he had some learning curves with that.
I'm sorry, are you saying Abe Lincoln?
Abe Lincoln.
That's another bad joke. That was.
Right.
If you ever seen Robin Hood Men in Tights, the guy runs in and goes, "Did you say Abe Lincoln?"
Yeah, Abe Lincoln.
But
so I'm working on that, and the book, God knows, is 45,000 words already.
Holy moly!
And I just sent Greg a picture of my mom to begin work on the cover of this book, which is going to be titled "Can We Talk?"
Wow!
That is such an amazing concept, because I mean, I imagine that you have a vivid.
Yeah, that one's going to be rough.
There you go. You have a vivid memory of conversations with your mom, I have to imagine, or
These are conversations I'd like to have with her.
But to know or to imagine what her response would be.
Yeah.
That's an interesting platform to jump off of.
Well, and the problem, the caution, if you like, in writing a book like that, and someone nearby said, is this going to be too personal an event for it to be generally desirable or attractive or interesting? Right. And the reality is somebody who's very close to me said, no, I don't think so, because there are a lot of people out here who would love to be able to talk to their dead moms or dead dads.
And it's not...
And you made it happen in this book.
And I don't know, and watch me steal Mike Winters' ism here. I don't know specifically about what conversations you get into, but I'm going to take a stab that you delve into less than comfortable subject matter.
Absolutely. Are you proud of me?
Yeah, exactly. Things like I never got to hear, you never got to watch me graduate. You never got to see these aspects of my life.
Exactly. Do you think I'm doing a good job as a mom and as a grandmother? And
of course, there's that level of anger as well. Because, death is not something you choose, but you did get a chance to check out. You left. You left when I needed you the most.
But it was harder for her than it was for me. And it took me a lot of years as an adult to recognize, as a mother and as a grandmother, how it must have felt for her to die and leave a 14-year-old girl whom she couldn't guide and she couldn't teach and she couldn't attend my big events. And how awful, how horrible for her. Never mind me, because I had all my future ahead of me. But imagine how horrible it was for her.
And that's such an amazing perspective, too, because I pull back of the curtain. My kids, I'm trying to think how many layers I have to cut back here. My kid's mom's dad, who we always call Pawpaw, he was my father-in-law, he's a great man, passed away about a year ago. So my family had been dealing with this overwhelming loss. And in talking to, Carletta, my kid's mom, one of the things that I uncovered is she felt so guilty that she was so upset. And she said it felt selfish to her that she was so mad that he left.
How could you do that to me?
Right. How could you leave me here?
How could you leave me here in this mess?
Exactly. And I told her it's a natural part of the grieving process.
Yes.
But it's also, he, and again, there's a level of, the next realm or whatever. He chose to leave now when he knew you were ready to handle it.
And it wasn't in his hands after all,
It sure wasn't, no.
It's Rafa.
That's amazing.
It's my amazing invisible person who's always with me.
That concept got me so excited, so I had to touch on that, but I glazed right over it. Congratulations, Greg.
Hey.
That's awesome.
So he has a new project to work on.
And what's,
big project.
What's great about you look at some people's and I know this is hardly a one-to-one comparison, but have you ever seen the movie Napoleon Dynamite?
I think so.
Okay. There's a scene right in the middle of the movie when he's trying to get the girl to go to prom with her, and he draws a portrait of her, and he said, I hope you like the way I did the shading next to your nose. The picture is terrible. So I'm always been one. If you look at AI art, it's the same thing. People can never get human features right, and that's a lot because there's an emotion behind the eyes.
That's why I write books.
Right. There you go. There's an emotion behind the eyes that when you just draw a face, it's not there. But Greg has this ability
Uncanny.
to capture the emotion of the moment. I was talking about the painting that he made for myself and my daughter. If you look at the picture, I'm looking at the camera. She's looking up at me. And I know that's an aspect of the photo itself.
It's symbolic.
But it's something I didn't notice. And that's an amazing aspect. So just to have that talent and that ability to kind of to capture your stories and put them on canvas like that.
I'm very grateful.
You guys are too much, man.
Did one more selfless self-promotion,
Of course.
shameless self-promotion. In deference to your audience, I also wrote 3 murder mysteries that take place in New Mexico.
Really?
And Greg did the covers. I didn't bring them, but
So did we go-
too
did-
heavy.
did
One
we go-
is in Belen, one is in Alamogordo, and one is guess where?
Roswell?
Roswell.
Ah, there you go.
So those are also in my portfolio.
Okay. Now I'm curious. Were you able to avoid the temptation to go the alien sci-fi
I never
route?
even thought about it.
There you go.
Nope.
That's too cliche for my taste.
I applaud it. Every time you hear, "Oh, Roswell artist," okay, what's this
Oh
book
God,
about?
no!
Aliens?
The word alien is never in any of my books.
Would
ever.
you say that it's alien to you?
Ooh!
Ouch.
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's terrible.
That's what I do. This is my realm.
Yeah, well, it's your.
You stay in your world, and I'll stay in mine.
All right, okay, all right. It's your place.
Now, notoriously quiet amongst our conversations here today is Ron.
Yes.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I just wanted to make sure your voice was still there.
Yes.
Still with us. Now, I don't know if it's been talked about or discussed, but there's a special day today, and that is yours and yours anniversary.
It was.
It was.
It was.
Okay. See, Greg slipped me bad info.
I'm sorry.
Right.
Bad
no,
intel.
It was May 1st. It was May 1st.
Hey, that's me. I misspelled the word, too.
I'm curious, though, how many years?
17 years. 17 glorious years.
Absolutely. Well, you have to say that now.
49
you guys
more.
are on microphones. This is all on record.
No, tell him what you just said. 49 more.
49 more years. We
That's-
renew it every year.
Okay, that's an oddly specific number. Now I'm curious. If you get to 49,
Yeah, it
more.
renews.
Okay, so it gets bumped up after that.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So in honor of that, 17 years. That's an amazing thing. I mean, most relationships don't make it out of the 7-year yips. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Not anymore.
Yep. So Greg was talking to me yesterday, and he said, in honor of such a milestone, such a momentous occasion, he's got a little something that he wants to present. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes,
Don't
sir.
answer me in silence. So without further ado, I think that maybe we should give you the floor.
All right, Ron. I know that. Cindy.
I commissioned it, so
Yes.
I know what it
So
looks
she-
like.
okay, so
I
she
know.
knows.
I
She knows.
commissioned it, so.
So
All
she
right.
knows what it looks like.
do.
But you, sir, have not got to see it, and I hope that you like this. It's
A complete
the rose.
surprise.
The rose on here is her favorite color and your favorite color.
Teal blue.
Now,
I love it.
that green, dude, it was hard to get.
Really?
To hit it, but I hope you like it.
Wow.
Gorgeous.
Oh, that is
that
beautiful.
I love the Zia on it, too.
The
Now,
Zia.
your center here, the only one in the world, this has got calligraphy ink on y'all's names. The only
You
one
spelled
in the
my
world.
name right. Good.
Yeah, I learned how to spell.
That's important.
Just in case
no insult intended.
Wow.
if the camera can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, let's see.
Isn't that gorgeous?
That green is absolutely beautiful. It pops, and this green here on the rose itself, but on the leaves over here, these accent leaves, that is such a beautifully vivid green color. I love that. That's
I hire
amazing.
only the best.
You know what? You're not wrong. And
And
actually,
the clouds are a heart.
I love. Yeah. Oh, and that's very subtle too. It doesn't
Yeah,
dip
you don't
as much
notice
like a
The
normal
subtle
heart.
stuff is the best.
I love the
The
purple.
subtle stuff is
And
the
one
best.
thing that this captures too is a New Mexico sunset. Because if you
Yes.
look at a New Mexico sunset, there's a lot of purples, the oranges, that's beautiful, man.
Like I said, she
It's
makes it
gorgeous.
hard for me. She don't take it easy.
No, that's
Well, that's my job.
that is
And
To
here's the
keep
best.
you honest. Thank you.
when
Thank you, sir.
when we wrap, I want to show you the painting that he did for me with the Zia as
Okay.
well. And it's sort of kind of all over the place, but I love it because it's chaos, and that's sort of my world. I love what I do for a living, and I love the notoriety that it sort of brings me and the conversations that I get to have. But I'm kind of trailer trash outside of this place, you know.
Oh, please.
So,
Oh, please.
so to maintain
I'm a
modicum-
teacher too, and I just won't allow language like that.
That's fair.
Self-deprecation doesn't fly.
That's fair. But to maintain my mindset and my mentality, I kind of need a little bit of a break from the chaos. And Greg's work is a great way to just look and be like, I can find something in this that I can get lost in, or I can enjoy, or notice that's different that I didn't see the last time. And that's the mark of a true artist is the ability to take something and completely make it so that every time you look at it, there's something different. Subtleties. And a lot of these covers, and a lot of the works that I've seen you do, there was one specifically a couple of pieces back that was, I'm messing this up, but I believe it was just like a porch, and it kind of like it was like wooden, like a deck porch, and it extended back, and there was a couple people in the background, and that's one of those. There's so many different layers because you've got the painting, the wood paneling, and which way the grains are going on the wood, what these people are doing, the conversation they're having, you're actually having in your head to paint that and put it to canvas.
That's why I'm a writer and not a painter.
That's amazing.
Author, artist.
I
can't.
That's why I'm a talker and neither one of the other.
And that is the reason why I'm an artist and not a writer, because she still sits there and she can send me emails and she'll be like, "You misspelled that word."
That's
it's almost like that. Written on the hand.
Now, in fairness, we do live in 2025. If Google let that through, I think that's more on Google than on you.
That's true too. That's true too.
So, and I know you're so prolific, and you've got works on works and stuff in the fire.
That's what makes me tick.
Sure, I love that. But what keeps you ticking outside of writing? What do you do to unwind?
Sadly, my kids are far away. I have a son in Dallas. That's in Texas. Last time I checked,
it is.
Yeah,
and Texas is a lot more Texas than
world.
people think about.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. And my daughter lives in Western New York, which is even worse. Yeah. With my 2 grandchildren, so I only get to see them or talk to them by way of FaceTime and such things, and the short, far between visits. Ron has family, who is now my family, that live in Illinois, land of Lincoln. Mm-hmm. And so I have family, which is and Ron also has a son in Colorado, in Fountain, Colorado.
I love Fountain.
Do you?
Oh, I do. Okay, let me rephrase that. I used to love Fountain. It sort of went like crazy I went like 20 years ago. We went to Garden of the Gods and all that, and up to Pikes Peak.
Santa Claus.
And Fountain was a great jumping off point. It was small enough. There was, a few little cafe shops that we found, and it was a nice little place. I drove through there about 8 to 9 months ago to go to a concert.
Oh, it's trying to look like Colorado Springs.
It's getting a little bit dingy, a little bit busy.
Yeah. Anyway, that's family first and foremost.
Sure.
But after that, I'm also, as I said, a teacher, a substitute teacher. Okay. I've been doing that for many, 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 many years. And it's done as a work of the heart rather than a work of the pocketbook.
Well, definitely
if
you
know what they're paying teachers.
It's definitely not a work of the head because it's not a smart decision. But
snap! It is a smart decision.
It's a smart decision if you're passionate about it. And I'll tell you,
I wouldn't do it otherwise.
What grade level do you?
I teach only K through 6.
Okay. So I went to before my pursuits of radio and of this, I was actually going to school for early childhood education. Mm-hmm. I got sort of like overwhelmed and realized, this is not for me, because the idea is you want to get them while they're fresh-minded enough and they're hopeful enough about the educational process that they actually absorb it. I see that in my son. Like he's kindergarten going into first grade, and
Love it.
He's whip smart.
My favorite age.
He will take anything you give him. He had this book that he got at the book fair about space, and he's now telling me about like, what was the word he used? The unobservable universe.
Look at this guy.
Kindergarten?
Yeah, he's in kindergarten. He was up reading a camp invention, reading a page about ferrofluids and how to remove ferrofluids out of.
Oh, I love it.
It's crazy.
I love it.
But to see that want and that desire to learn, that's what's great, and you get that in that grade level.
That's my job.
But once you hit middle school, something changes, and I know exactly what it is.
Hormones.
Yep. They mess everything up.
No, I won't go to middle school or high school.
Yeah, I understand.
Too many cell phones and too much estrogen and testosterone, and I just no.
And see, that's why I skipped English in high school, because we still had open campus at Roswell High.
Oh yeah.
And that's why y'all sit there and look at that. No, okay, you need that apostrophe right here.
That's why you have me.
Exactly. Exactly.
I'm teaching my daughter about punctuation right now. I'm like, you have to be careful with punctuation, because you don't put a comma in the right place. You're actually saying, let's go eat grandma.
Yeah,
that's right.
Exactly.
Let's go eat grandma. Yeah,
that's great.
We need that. Yeah.
Well, this has been a great conversation.
A couple of things.
Yeah, of course.
I've got just for people to know that did go out and vote for the belt buckle.
Yes.
They have not announced the winners yet.
Okay.
So they said that's still sometime soon. So it's still out there, just waiting on that.
Sure.
A big thank you to David Romero, and he is the mayor of Las Vegas, New Mexico. Mm-hmm. They're going to put me up for the night because I donated a painting, and it basically depicts the old rail yard there in Las Vegas, New Mexico, which the train station there does not have. They had what was called a roundabout.
Okay.
But that was later after Billy the Kid's time, and it was only 3 doors, and basically they made them in kind of like a horseshoe.
Okay.
And that's where trains would go in so that they could get serviced and then come out. So that was there in Las Vegas, New Mexico. But the barn, the where Billy the Kid hung out, this thing was basically just all wood, is what it looked like. Because just down from it, you'll see a guy that's riding up the street, and just down the street from it was what they called camp cities, which most towns had, and pretty much everybody knew what the tent cities were in all of them places. That's where you'd go and smoke your opium and all that stuff.
You know, find a lady for the evening, of course. You know, and it was always all done with one large, thick gold coin. It's like you'd see the guy walk up to the bar and he'd say, "Give me a drink, a smoke, a woman, and a bath, and a place to stay for the evening." He'd slap one coin down on the guy.
Except Billy wouldn't
And
bathe.
I'll expect change.
Yeah, exactly.
Except Billy wouldn't bathe because he was always just on that, ready to run.
Oh, okay.
I've also got a Pancho Villa painting that is going down to Columbus, New Mexico. And I've got...
Has anybody discovered Columbus, New Mexico?
I have been...
You got to go to Deming?
I was going
there.
for the Nina Pinta Santa Maria thing. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I should stick with writing books.
But it's funny because it is so off the beaten path that actually works. It's sort of out there in kind of, you know... I made the joke earlier. You go to the middle of nowhere and then go 100 miles east of that. That's about where you'll find.
Yeah, and I mean, it's right there that you can basically... You're in Mexico, in Columbus.
Yeah.
Okay.
And anyway, after that, I've got another painting that is for Old La Masia, which is the church there that they've been chomping at the bit for it because they do not have one. That one there again will hang at the town hall where the first painting's hanging.
And what do you do in your spare time?
Work for you.
Yeah, right.
Clearly shop for clothes. I mean, that's clearly what he does.
Yeah, right.
No, he told me about he's got a source for the outfits that he gets, and it's this Italian designer place in Texas.
Yes.
It's an oxymoron.
Italian
designer, Texas? I'm sorry. No offense, Texans.
You're right. It's it's definitely an interesting look, but I love that every single time Greg comes in, it's just like his art, just like his works. I know there's gonna be something different. It's 100%
signature.
Yeah.
It's me, and it's one of those deals. Love it or leave it, and you know.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you got your work cut out for you. It sounds like you definitely have your work cut out for you.
Oh my God,
dude! And you got the rest of the week cut out for you.
Oh, this is we just hit the halfway point. I'm good from here. It's all just downhill.
Hey, you're sailing like Christopher Cross, right?
She made a Columbus reference and you made a Christopher Cross reference, and I actually, for some reason, got that one first.
Oh no!
And if you're ever up north, because I know you're from the Rio Rancho area, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
If you're ever up a little more north from that, and you happen to pass by JRR's house, just please let him know. We are all waiting for the end of Song of Ice and Fire. We need to know. I figure that you guys roll in the same circles. So,
sure.
Yeah.
Sure,
right.
of course.
Totally.
Of course.
You guys go to the same parties.
You remind me of my grade school kids who, when they find out that I write books, they always say, "Oh my God, you must be really rich and famous, aren't you?" And I always say, "Yeah, Stephen King and I are like this."
That's amazing.
Nice.
No offense, Mr. King.
Of course. Oh no, he's totally listening right now.
Is
too.
he?
Yeah, he is.
All the way from Bahama.
He's watching the video feed.
Oh.
Cindy, Ron, and Greg, thank you guys so much for your time. And
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing because it's amazing work, and it really is putting a perspective that I feel like, especially right now and especially in this day and age, is just getting ignored, lost, rewritten, and this is the only way that we can keep those ideas and those
the true
things going.
history.
There are Holocaust survivors dying every day.
It's tough, and it's one of the
It's a story that's going to get lost.
Right. And it only
if it's not held properly.
unless it's immortalized on the page. So big thanks for everything that you guys do.
Thank you.
Ron, Congratulations. On 17 years of wedded bliss and 49 more?
Yeah.
49 more.
Okay,
Subject to renewal.
Oh, subject to renewal. We'll go over the contract negotiations at that point.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
Thanks, brother.
9 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the local news.
Has announced the appointment of Adriana Rodriguez as the leader of the Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center. AGH cites Rodriguez's background in family practice and emergency medicine and her commitment to providing compassionate and comprehensive care to patients with chronic and non-healing wounds in Artesia and surrounding communities. And a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Tuesday for the new Eddy County Shooting Range expansion. The facility now has indoor plumbing. The association says the range is a great place to hone your shooting skills in any category of sportsmanship. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander. U.S. inflation picked up a bit last month. Consumer prices increased 2.4% in May compared with a year ago. Senior U.S. and Chinese negotiators have agreed on a framework to get their trade negotiations back on track. President Trump posted on Truth Social. Trump also announced the U.S. could collect 55% tariffs on Chinese imports, and China will collect 10% tariffs on U.S. imports. Glen Valley Foods was operating an Omaha, Nebraska facility with about one-third of its staff on Wednesday after federal agents detained workers in an immigration raid. Livestock traders and market analysts expressed concerns that the potential deportation of undocumented workers from such raids could disrupt U.S. food production. Tom Bodette, known for the radio and TV ads telling travelers that at Motel 6 will leave the light on for you, has sued the motel chain for using his name and voice without permission after their nearly four-decade relationship broke down. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Bill Alexander in Washington.
The Apostle Paul writes a letter to a preacher named Titus who is ministering on the island of Crete. The inhabitants of the island were about as far from God as they could be, yet Paul sends Titus to preach the good news of God's grace and forgiveness. The world we live in today seems like it could not be further from God as well, but Jesus was sent for the world of today too. Hear these words of Paul to Titus. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all wickedness and to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. This same call is open today. No matter where you find yourself, God waits for you to answer the call.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Injury, surgery, or illness can set you back, but you don't have to recover alone. At Artesia General Hospital, our rehabilitation services team provides physical, occupational, and speech therapy to help you regain strength, mobility, and confidence. Take the next step toward recovery. Call 575-736-8174 today to schedule an appointment and get back to living life to the fullest.
Boot, scoot, and boogie your way to the Spencer Theater on June 14th to see Dunn and Brooks, the Brooks and Dunn Tribute. This energetic tribute to the 90s country duo will have you dancing and singing along. Tickets start at $39, available online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The U.S. Treasury once considered producing donut-shaped coins. They instead decided to go with coin-shaped donuts. Here's Mike Winters.
Excuse me. And good morning. Closing in on 8 o'clock on this Thursday morning. Just looking at Facebook, Kim has posted up some pictures from Mesa Verde, I believe it is. It's the cliff dwellings, essentially, where the ruins are. Just some spectacular pictures. I'm going to ask permission to share just a montage of some of the pictures that they got probably tomorrow when I can put that together. Stay tuned. Next hour of the program, we're going to have the Roswell High School cheer team coming on in, along with their new head, head coach or president of the team. I'm not sure. Miss Charlotte Gourlay. I will be chatting with them coming up here in just a few minutes on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Roswell's home for talk radio is 106.5 FM, KEND Roswell.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. Police in northwestern India say there are apparently no survivors in the crash of an Air India jetliner earlier today. The plane that was bound for London's Gatwick Airport crashed in a residential area just minutes after takeoff. 242 people on board. The U.S. reducing its staffing presence in the Mideast as tensions in the region rise.
Non-essential personnel at the U.S. Embassy in Baghdad and their families have been ordered to leave because of the potential for regional unrest. The State Department also is authorizing the departure of non-essential personnel and family members from Bahrain and Kuwait. President Trump said they are being moved out because it could be a dangerous place. The move comes as U.S. nuclear talks with Iran appear to have hit an impasse. Greg Clugston, Washington.
What began in Los Angeles has spread elsewhere. Demonstrations against the enforcement of federal immigration law in cities around the country. Police in Spokane, Washington deployed flashbang grenades to disperse rowdy protesters. Senator Josh Hawley looking into a group that he says may be funding the unrest.
Senator Hawley chairs the Judiciary Subcommittee on Crime and Terrorism and says he wants to know whether funding for the riots came from a local nonprofit, the Coalition for Humane Immigrant Rights, or CHIRLA. The organization has received funding from sources including the Department of Homeland Security. Hawley says now credible reporting suggests CHIRLA may be providing logistical support and financial resources to some of those involved in the riots. Bob Agnew reporting.
Echoing yesterday's report on consumer prices, inflation at the wholesale level was tame last month. The Producer Price Index rose 2.6% in May, defying dire predictions based on the Trump tariffs. On Wall Street, the Dow down 158 points. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Mike Gallagher here, host of the Mike Gallagher Show. If you know me, you know I only put my name behind people and companies I trust. When it comes to mortgages, I trust Mike and Brian at Fellowship Home Loans.
No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Severe flooding in South Africa's southeastern provinces. Cold front brought high winds, heavy rains, and an unusually large snowfall. The Eastern Cape Premier says the death toll is expected to rise.
Rescue teams have begun a third day searching for missing people after floods devastated part of South Africa's rural Eastern Cape province. Authorities said they expected the death toll to rise. The missing included 4 high school students who were swept away when their bus was caught up in the floods near a river on Tuesday. 6 students on the bus were confirmed dead, while 3 were rescued after clinging onto trees and calling out for help. I'm Karen Chema.
Russian forces launched a large-scale drone assault across Ukraine. Officials say several people killed, 64 wounded. The latest strikes caused widespread destruction in the northeastern city of Kharkiv. News and analysis at townhall.com. Should you sleep with your pet? The experts are weighing in.
Lots of people allow their pets to sleep on the bed with them. Is that a good idea? Those in the know say it all depends. Now, a dog or a cat would be okay, but if your pet is, say, a 12-foot boa constrictor, you might want to reconsider. Nevertheless, experts do say allowing Fido or Fluffy to sleep in your bed may be harming the pet. That's because dogs and cats' natural sleep cycles aren't the same as humans. They do admit, however, owning a pet is often very good for people's health. It has been shown to lower humans' stress levels. Jason Walker reporting.
Google offering buyouts to another swath of its workforce across several key divisions. Google employs most of the nearly 186,000 workers on the worldwide payroll of its parent company, Alphabet. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The travel and what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican world radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning, one and all. 6 minutes after 8 o'clock. Welcome to hour number 2 of A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday. Welcome to your TGI Thursday, and hopefully yours off to a fantastic start. The penultimate day of, well, it's been a week, man. It has been a quite the long week, whether it's, here kind of holding things down all by my lonesome here at the 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM Studios. And, the home life thing. I've had the kids this week, and, of course, they're in summer mode, so any time spent downtime is no fun. So, of course, Dad, the activities director, got to come up with something. Although, it's funny. I was thinking about it the other day. We have screens, and that is the break that parents get today. And I was like, parents, when we were kids, they didn't have something to just hand us to be like, get away from me for a little while. So what did they do? They told us to go outside, and so we went outside. What a concept. Which is actually kind of nice being in the neighborhood that I'm in, because the kids in our area still do go outside and play. And my kids, went outside and played with some friends last night. I feel safe sending them out with, other kids in my little area, because there's lots of folks with cameras, and we're all sort of looking out for each other. So it's a relatively safe space to be in. But that being said, that's what our parents did when we were kids. Is they just said, get away from me. I'll see you when the streetlights come on. Maybe I'll have dinner ready for you. And of course, on school days, it was you had your key, go home and make yourself up some ramen noodle soup. Although I was, being a latchkey kid, I was quite the whiz at whipping up egg dishes. I learned pretty early on how to make an egg several different ways. So that was basically my whole thing when I got home. Is I'd have breakfast as a post-school snack and wait for the rest of the family to kind of come back home. The latchkey days. But we move on because it's 2025 and those days, alas, are gone. But happy Thursday to you. Hopefully yours off to a good start. Mixmaster Mike will be back inside your radios this coming Monday morning with all sorts of cool stories. I love when Mike goes on excursion vacations, because, of course, there's the family vacations. There's, the time to go see the family, and, of course, that's obligatory. But then there's the free vacations, the ones where you actually get to go out and have an experience. I didn't really have any of those until pretty much this portion of my life, like my later 30s, early 40s, did I actually go on vacations that were vacations. Most of the time it's just, I get a week off. Cool, I guess I'm going to Oklahoma to see my family. But as of late, I've sort of had my hand forced into taking destination vacations. And those are always the best, because you come home chock full of stories. It's not even so much about what you do while you're there. It's the experience of being there and bringing those memories home that you can hold on to for a while. It's literally yesterday why I was pointing out, it's like the only reason I have tattoos is because of a destination to vacation. So it's always interesting to see what could happen when one goes off and has an adventure. They've definitely had quite the adventure this week up in Colorado, riding the Durango train up through to Silverton. That's just a beautiful trek. They posted up some videos of the trip itself and actually the train riding along the cliffside, and you have the history of the train that you're actually on, and it is one of the original trains. I mean, of course, they've made repairs and adjustments, but it's one of those original trains, so you have that historical experience, but it's modernized with comforts of today, and then you have that beautiful view, and especially right now with late spring, early summer, everything is green and growing, and now's the time to go witness nature in all its splendor. But of course, Mixmaster Mike will probably have plenty of stories to regale us with when he gets back to us on Monday morning. Meantime, I'll be sitting in for him for today and tomorrow as we wrap up this week of mornings without Mike Winters. Hey, real quickly, I wanted to put this on your radar. I know 4th of July is coming up, and we're all real excited for that. But a couple weeks before the 4th of July, we're going to have our own huge celebration. Get ready for a sky full of lights as a special fireworks and drone show goes down Saturday, June 21st at Cielo Grande Park in Roswell. Again, that is a few weeks before the actual 4th of July. Essentially 1 week from this coming Saturday is when we're going to be doing all this. Come on out early, too, because the first 3,000 people are going to get a free hamburger starting at 5 p.m. And if you're a veteran, come out around 6 p.m. for a special Veterans Steak Dinner. That's right. For you and up to 3 of your immediate household members, bring your DD-214 or your military ID, and you get in to enjoy a delicious steak dinner. I was thinking about those people who have 2 kids. I guess, do you have to choose one? Maybe 1 year Jimmy gets to go, and 1 year, Susie gets to go or something. I'm not sure, but it's a real Sophie's Choice steak dinner situation. But they will have a special air-conditioned tent set up for you right there on site at Cielo Grande. Then, once the sun goes down around 8:30 p.m. or so, we are going to light up the night sky with a beautiful drone show and an awesome fireworks display, all brought to you by our friends at Constructables and Church on the Move here in Roswell. Now, if you want more information, call 575-622-7011. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. We're going to get you up to date with the weather coming up here in just a few minutes. And then here in just a bit after the break here, we'll be chatting with the Roswell High School cheer team. We've got Charlotte and some representatives from the cheer team. So we'll be chit-chatting with them, see what makes them tick, and how excited they are for the upcoming 25-26 season. It's going to be a good one. Right now, at 13 minutes after 8 o'clock, let's pause and get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air moving back into our region, so we'll be getting very warm today. Upper 90s and lots of sunshine. Overnight, a few clouds, a slim chance of a shower. We're in the mid-60s and then getting pretty hot again on Friday. We'll be up around 100, lots of sunshine. No big changes for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s to low 100s Saturday and Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees around Roswell Way. Humidity is at 62%. Winds out of the south at about 13 miles an hour. The barometer at 29.99 inches with a dew point of 60 degrees. Going to be another scorcher around Roswell Way. Sunny skies, 97 for the high. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour. The clouds moving back into the region by tonight. Looking at isolated showers and thunderstorms, mostly before midnight. Mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming mostly clear. A low of around 66. Winds out of the north 5 to 10, becoming southwest after midnight. Your chance of rain is about 20%. Those clouds move out of the area, and that's pretty much it for precipitation for at least the foreseeable future. It's tomorrow, sunny skies, 100 for the high. Winds going to be calm out of the west at about 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear for your Friday night, 69. Nice for the overnight low. Winds out of the south, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Sunny and hot, 103 for the high on Saturday, 105 for the high on Sunday. Back up to 102 for Monday, 104 for Tuesday, and then dropping down to giving us a little break, some double digits, only 99 degrees for the high next Wednesday. So something to look forward to, getting all the way down to the double-digit weather. You might want to grab a light jacket as you head out the door. 14 minutes after 8 o'clock. Let us get you, let's pause, pay a couple of these bills, and then after the break, we'll be chit-chatting with the Roswell High School cheer team on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Our dads shape our world by giving us the courage to dream big. This is Melanie from Glenn's Furniture, and it's time to let Dad know he's the heart of every memory, the wisdom in your moral compass, and the glue that holds your family together. Show him your appreciation with a new recliner from Glenn's. Thank him for every sacrifice and every smile with exceptional quality and comfort that lasts. Come see us for Father's Day on the corner of Union and Alameda in Roswell, where delivery is free since 1953.
Have you spent a lot of time trying to whiten your teeth with no real success? Here at Carabelli Dental, we have a solution. Get that perfect smile you've always wanted with veneers. Veneer treatment is quick and minimally invasive and will provide you with a confident smile in just a couple easy steps. You deserve to love your smile, so don't let another day pass you by without calling us to start the smile design process.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental at the corner of 9th and Main in Roswell, or call 575-622-4455.
The ultimate Wi-Fi experience is now available to you thanks to Smart Home Wi-Fi with Plateau. Get fiber-to-home technology 100 times faster than average household internet speed. Plateau has multiple plans and options to fit your family. With Fast, get true 100 megs per second download and upload speed. With Faster, get true 500 megs of download and upload speeds. And with Fastest, you get 1 gig. Learn more at plateautel.com. Get the speed you need with Plateau. Tried, true, trusted.
If you're missing a tooth or several teeth, a dental implant may be the ultimate solution. Implants look and feel so much like real teeth that you probably forget you have an implant. Maupin and Brown Dentistry is one of New Mexico's most experienced implant providers, with literally thousands of implant patients who are absolutely delighted with the results. Call Maupin and Brown today for an evaluation. You'll be surprised how affordable implants can be. Maupin and Brown, your choice for experienced, state-of-the-art dentistry.
The Apostle Paul writes a letter to a preacher named Titus who is ministering on the island of Crete. The inhabitants of the island were about as far from God as they could be, yet Paul sends Titus to preach the good news of God's grace and forgiveness. The world we live in today seems like it could not be further from God as well, but Jesus was sent for the world of today too. Hear these words of Paul to Titus. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all wickedness and to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. This same call is open today. No matter where you find yourself, God waits for you to answer the call.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Due to extreme pressure and weather conditions, it literally rains diamonds on Neptune and Uranus. Stop snickering because I said Uranus. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 18 minutes after 8 o'clock on this Thursday morning without Mike Winters. And joining us in studio this morning, a bunch of winning smiles. They just came in to take pictures, and I just looked over. I was like, you guys have been trained to do this. All right, we're going to start from right to left. We got Miss Jordan Valverde. How are you doing this morning?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Miss Andrea Rico, how are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing good, doing good. I just told her. Aren't you listening? Miss Jackie Escalante, how are you doing this morning?
I'm really good this morning. How are you?
Again, I'm fine. This is about me. This is about you guys, okay? And, of course, Miss Marissa Vargas, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. She got it.
Oh, I'm fine. Thanks for asking. I'm just teasing you guys. With the Roswell High School cheer team. And collectively, how are we doing this morning?
Great.
I like that. I like it. Hello, hello, hello. It's kind of in harmony. So we were talking off the air and just kind of joking around that the school year pretty much started the second the last school year ended, because you guys didn't really get a break, right?
Right. No.
It's been pretty much go, go, go. So the Roswell High School cheer team is, how often are you guys training right now?
5 times a week.
5 times a week. Wow. So every single weekday, you guys are getting some training in. That's a lot. That's a lot. We're what, 6 weeks now, I guess, away from the start of the school year?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, because they broke it down. They're like, oh, summer this year is 8 weeks. I'm like, I was informed as a child there are 104 days of summer vacation. This is nonsense.
Yeah, that's not it anymore.
It's not. It's not at all. It's go, go, go. So how has the training been going?
It's going well. We're on their second week of practice right now.
Okay.
They have tumbling in the mornings, and then we go into our own practice in the afternoon. And so far, we've made really good progress with our teams this far. So we're really excited what the season's going to bring.
Excellent. So let's start over here from right to left. Is this your first year of cheer, or how long have you been doing cheer?
I am actually a former coach. I coached. I started in 2017, and then I resigned in 2021. But now my current daughter cheers on the team. So I'm a booster member. But I also still coach volleyball, and I'm a teacher at Roswell High. So I still step in and help whenever I need.
Well, can I stop for a second and just really put a spotlight on your skincare regimen?
Oh,
because you could have fooled me. I'm like, I was going to ask you, what grade are you in, little girl? So props to whatever creams and serums you're using.
Thank you.
This ain't it. That is. Okay. So we'll talk to Andrea. Are you a cheer student, or are you another instructor?
I'm the head coach at Roswell High.
There you go. Okay. See, again, I really need to step my game up. I know there's like creams and
so she was
salads
actually one of my former cheerleaders,
Okay.
and then we got Roswell High brought her on, so it worked out.
So you guys have been at it for quite some time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well, Miss Jackie, how long have you been at this?
This is gonna be my 6th year cheering.
Okay. So when did you start cheering?
I started cheering for middle school in 7th grade.
Okay.
And since then I've been cheering.
There you go. So this is your, I'm trying to do math here. I'm bad at math. Senior year?
Yes.
You're going into your senior year. So you are a student.
Yes, I am.
Okay, thank God. I'm paranoid. I'm like, okay, I don't know who's who anymore, and left is right. Dogs are sleeping with cats. It's that's a Ghostbusters reference. I know I'm old. So in your experience as far as being a student of cheer, and with Roswell High, which is, as we were talking with Art Sandoval yesterday, a champion factory. I mean, so you guys are busy. You guys are at all of the football games, at all of the the basketball games, and cheering on our teams. And they're not making your job easy, because they're all they do is win, so to speak. So what's your experience been like on the team?
My experience has been really well. I can say last year, like, I improved drastically.
Mm-hmm.
Andrea Rico actually helped me self-improve in a way. I can say she motivated me.
Okay.
As well as Coach Jordan Valverde. They both really helped me out.
What do you prefer most? Do you prefer like floor routines? Are you a flyer? What do you find your area of expertise being?
I've been a main base all 5 years. Up until last year, I got changed into a back last minute, and I honestly prefer backing more than main basing.
Okay.
So stunting.
Stunting wise.
Okay.
Yes.
Because it lets you kind of show off a little more, show off some skills, and
show off my strength.
Let people know what you're up to. Very cool. Very cool. I was a flyer. So Miss Marissa, how long have you been doing cheer?
This is also my 6th year going into cheer.
Okay, so you're going into your senior year as well?
Yes.
Very cool. Very cool. So being a part of the team, I mean, obviously you guys have been at this. You guys have been together through the whole run, essentially, correct?
Yes.
Well, maybe middle school notwithstanding, but so how is the team as far as like the camaraderie, as far as like the teamwork coming together?
I would like to say that we are a family. We're with each other a lot, all the time.
Okay.
And after a while, we learn each other.
You finish each other's sandwiches. Do you find yourself being more as in a mentorship situation with incoming freshmen, with some of the new students, kind of having those jitters that maybe you remember having when you were coming in?
Yes, I do.
And that really helps helps them, because you can kind of, I've been where you are, I've been through what you're going through. Let's work on this, and then we'll go from there. That's very cool. Now, as far as like the coaching staff, as far as the folks over here who are putting on the routines, As far as the incoming freshmen go, and as far as like maybe some of your younger underclassmen students, how has the progress been? And do you see potential? And how are things looking for the upcoming year?
So last year we had 14 freshmen, so it was a little tough to build a team. It was also my first year taking over the program, so it felt like a hefty load.
Sure.
This year we have 4 freshmen, and I feel like now sophomores are in a good spot to where they're able to mentor the 4 that are coming in. But
And that's the sophomore year is kind of one of those pivotal years, because that's the year where you're like, okay, I've got some agency. I kind of know the lay of the land. I've been here for a year, but we're still kind of testing the waters a little bit. Still kind of, little fish, big pond. So that's kind of a pressure situation. Now, as far as routines go for the upcoming year, do you want to reveal anything you guys have been working on? Any new routines, new songs? Or is it just kind of the same old standard stuff?
No, this year we're actually hoping to perform a lot more at our halftime games, at all the games that we can. Any appearances, we're planning to perform and show out.
Okay, there you go. I think one of the things, and I was talking with Miss Charlotte about this on it was Tuesday. One of the things that I think it's important for you guys is to stand out and say, we're not Charlie's Angels. We are the Roswell High School cheer team. We are our own entity, and we're bringing our own thing to the table, right? So how are you stepping into your own and out of that kind of that shadow? What ways do you find you're changing things up, shaking it up, or is it more of just a focus on keeping things the way they are, the tradition, and carrying on that legacy of Roswell High School?
I think that kind of talking about like previous years, and a lot of things have changed, especially with Charlie's Angels, and we kind of try to blend, be a spirit program as one, but standing out definitely is what Roswell Cheer needs to do. And talking to Coach Andy, she's definitely wanted to focus more on the skills and improving, stunts.
Sure.
People like to see them stunt. The Angels, they are wonderful. They're amazing, their tricks and skills that they have. But cheer, it's a lot of stunting, and it's actually become a sport now. So just improving those skills and doing harder stuff, more the wow factor.
Right.
And that's really what she's been focusing on with the girls and, the team. Sorry, we do have 2 boys on the team. But
awesome.
Yeah,
okay, great.
so just getting them to see what their potential is, and like, hey, let's go to the games and let's show the crowd what we can do.
I like
so
that.
It gets exciting.
I really like that. Now, as far as competitions go, because you guys, obviously this is its own sport, its own entity. Are you guys planning on attending any competitions, state or any kind of other competitions this coming year?
Yeah, we plan to compete up until 5 competitions before we do state this year.
Okay.
Roswell will also host a competition as well at Roswell High. Us and the Angels will host one. But really, it's just kind of all over. We try to, coaches wanted to really kind of branch out to like the northern part of the state, just because we're a 5A team and we have to see those bigger schools.
Sure.
So staying in like our area gets a little bit, we see the same schools and it's not really our competition that we see. So going up there, I think is really the game plan.
Yeah, it's good to have a fresh perspective and a different, viewpoint on things, and maybe, pick up techniques that maybe you hadn't thought about, utilizing or implementing before. I've seen Bring It On. I know how this works. Sometimes you have to, borrow a few techniques. It's what gets you through.
Yeah.
What makes it happen. So 5 days a week training. That's crazy. So let's talk about when you're not in intensely training for cheer. What's filling up your summertime? What do you do in your spare time?
I hang out with my friends and I stay home.
Homebody. Nice.
Yes.
You know what? It's the cheapest way to be. I figured out recently I cannot leave my house for less than $20. It's so depressing. I'm like, I just wanted to go for a drive, and somehow I'm more broke than I was when I left.
I agree.
Staying at home. What about you? What's your summer been like?
Well, I've been hanging out with friends also, and staying at home, sleeping, getting some rest.
Yeah. Well, because they're working you like dogs. I mean, I understand you got to get your Z's in where you can. That's completely understandable. As far as now, this is being your senior year. What's your plan moving forward? as after high school? What are your sights set on?
So after high school, I plan to attend ASU and major in business and financing.
Okay, business and financing, good. ASU, that's a little bit of a risk. We all know it's a party school. Come on, let's be honest. As long as you keep your nose clean, I think we'll be fine.
Well, the only reason I want to go over there is because most of my family's over there.
Okay, that's awesome. So you get to be closer to some loved ones. That's great.
Yes.
What about you after high school? What are you thinking?
I'm planning to attend college and study physical therapy.
Okay. Do you have any schools in mind, or are you still just kind of keeping the field open?
I'm looking.
Okay. I know it's not a popular opinion, but my suggestion: stay local for at least a year. I would go to Eastern, get some base classes out of the way. At least then you got mom and dad to come home and they can do your laundry and stuff, and you still can kind of experience your own independence. That's how I did it. And look where I ended up. Shut up. But I'm a Roswell High alum myself. I didn't have the cheer experience. I didn't make the cheer team. I did, however, I was a band geek. So I know that the pressure of right before competition, everybody's on the field and there's that moment where, and I've seen you guys do it. It's so funny where you're just standing there waiting to go on and you'll just start doing your routines. You'll just start like going through, and I'm doing a horrible representation of the routine. This is what you guys do, right? Am I doing it right? But it's just, it's that anticipation, that nervousness, and that's kind of how you work the nerves out. It's like you see, the band when we're getting ready for competition, we'll just be over there working on our scales or just something that's just, baseline routine that we've done a million times, and it's just to kind of bring your anxiety level down. You find that yourself doing that some of the times when you're in competition?
Yes, most of the time it's the getting an adrenaline rush. That's what gets to us whenever we're down there about to go. And then as soon as you hit mat, you just you take, it's like a relief, like a deep breath.
Have you ever been right at the beginning of a set and just your mind goes blank? You just forget everything. Has that ever happened?
We've talked about that, and Coach...
The yips, as they call it?
Yeah, Coach used to say she would just black out. She doesn't remember anything that happened.
I think I killed a guy. I don't know exactly. You may want to lay low for a while. I think you might be wanted for murder.
Yeah.
And that's understandable, too, because eventually, if you do something enough times, it wears a path in your brain, and you just do it without even thinking. I was saying the other day, I could in my office over there, I could just produce a spot in my sleep, because I've done it for 20 years. And that's the same thing. You build that muscle memory, and that just takes over, right? Now I know the pressure's kind of off for you guys as the coaches and stuff, but you're also feeling it too, because you're getting pressure from both sides. You're getting pressure from the students and also from the administrative staff, keep the costs low and stuff. And of course, fundraising is another thing. How's that experience been for y'all?
Fundraising, I think it's one of the biggest things right now, especially within our community. Getting our community involved and understanding the importance of what we do. Cheer's a year-long sport.
Yeah.
I think it's probably one of the hardest sports that anyone can participate in.
Because there's no off-season.
Yeah,
clearly,
there is no off-season.
Y'all don't get summers off, obviously.
And I'm somebody that didn't come from cheering. I'd never cheered. So whenever I started coaching, it was like a whole new world to me. So I understood, hey, this is hard.
Right.
So, community fundraising, I think, is the most important thing. Getting involved in the community, though, too, understanding that we're cheerleaders for a reason, I think has been, definitely self-serving mostly.
Absolutely.
But
in the best way.
But in the best way, yeah.
Sure.
So I think that it's been going good. This year has been good. We've come up with some really good ideas.
Are you guys actively fundraising right now, or are we just in planning stage?
Yes, we have been actively fundraising.
Okay.
We actually just finished a raffle for a Dodgers game getaway that was really successful. And then we have an upcoming tea. We are going to host a Bridgerton tea fundraiser.
Okay.
So that one's actually, we're pretty excited about, to bring something different to Roswell.
I like that. Now I've only seen a couple episodes of Bridgerton. From what I've seen, hopefully we're doing the PG Bridgerton tea. Okay,
definitely.
Okay. It gets a little wild on that show, I'm just saying. But that's really cool. Now, and obviously, year round, we ask local businesses to, if you can make it happen, to sponsor a cheerleader. And, you see it all over town. You see the pictures of the girls up or of the cheer team up. I got to be fair to the two fellas. And that's a great way to not only, get your name out there as a business, but also, help out, one of the members of the cheer team. And that's universal.
Yeah.
So is that is a year-round thing as well?
Yeah.
Yes.
You guys just actively just talk to businesses and see if they'll sponsor.
Yes. So each girl actually has to go and get their own sponsorships, and we really try to get them to do it because obviously coach is not the one getting sponsored.
Right.
It's them as individuals and as a team. So it teaches them.
Do they have like a quota that they have to try to hit?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's no pressure or anything, but this is one of those things where it's like, it's less pressure for you guys and more pressure for your parents. You're like, Dad, come on, talk, because I know I've had that 1,000 times, somebody come in and be like, my daughter wants to know if you'd be willing to sponsor the team. And of course you have to come with that, that humbleness, but it's a great opportunity for a business because it's, you're putting your name out there and that picture's going to hang up, and every time somebody comes in, they're going to see that you are a part of the community. You're a member of this local universe that we have, so to speak. So.
Yeah, definitely. It's helpful.
Absolutely. Do we have any so every year, and I'm not sure exactly how it works with cheer, but with band, when we put together our set for halftime, we always had a theme. Every year we had a different theme. Like our theme, I remember the one that sticks out in my head was the Beatles. We did, because we had a drum theme, we had Eleanor Rigby. It was a lot of fun. So I got to ask, are we willing to reveal any themes? Do we have a theme going into this year, or are we just freelancing?
Right now we're kind of in the works of that, but we do want to incorporate earning the respect. So earning the respect of the community to our program. So the theme is still in the works, but that's kind of where we're headed. As
I was talking about it, I kind of noticed a series of smiles kind of like on all those faces. Like, something's in the works, huh? Y'all aren't willing to reveal anything yet, but something's in the works. Y'all are going to come out in like Wookiee costumes and stuff. Y'all Star Wars themed. I like it. Just planting ideas in your head. So we're early in the summer. Obviously, a lot of training moving forward. What's the plan from here? I mean, as far as like the rest of the summer, just nose to the grindstone, keep working hard.
So we actually have 2 summer camps coming up in July. We're having our own home camp that the girls will learn from their choreographers. We're actually doing it alongside Goddard. So they'll both be working together and learning new routines and skills. And then we'll be going up to Albuquerque later in July for a 4-day overnight camp. So that should be exciting.
So a real clinic. I'm just going to warn you now. And again, this is my experience in band. I've talked to a lot of people that when you do the summertime band camp, or I guess in y'all's case cheer camp, it's like boot camp. I mean, you end the day, your feet, you're blistered up, you're going to be sore, you're going to be tired, dehydrated, but that's where you get the most skills from. That's where when they beat it into you, that's when you learn the best. So that's exciting. What about youth cheer camps for the summer? Are we anything planned for getting the youth involved?
That's something that we're in the works with.
Okay.
Hopefully, a back to school kiddie camp is something we're looking into.
Yeah, it's basically just trying to find the right dates, working with all the other programs at Roswell High, trying to get some gym space. But that's always an important thing because we get a lot of community members and younger girls and boys that want to come and learn skills.
That's what gets them enthusiastic for cheer and gets them excited. But also, and I don't know if you've had this opportunity, but it can kind of be like a bit of a prospect, situation where you can see potential in kids and be like, I'm going to keep my eye on you.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep some pressure on you and keep you training so that, when you're up to these young ladies' age, you're a phenom.
Well, I think a lot of kids, too, don't realize they're even good at it until they go to these kiddie camps, the skills camps, and they realize, like, oh, I really like that.
Right.
So.
Absolutely. That's what it's all about.
Exposure.
Is getting the passion in them at a young age.
Definitely.
That's awesome. Well, it sounds like you guys are hard at work, and we really appreciate all the work that you guys are doing. Any events or appearances coming up in the foreseeable future you guys want to talk about or mention?
Do we have anything planned this summer so far?
I know this is a question you guys didn't have an answer for. I apologize. Well, but if you are, let's say, a local business, I know there's been a lot of ribbon cuttings lately, and if folks maybe wanted to have you guys out for an event, is that something that you guys would do?
Yeah, of course.
Excellent. So how would, if somebody wanted to do that, how would they reach out to you?
We have a Roswell High Cheer Gmail, an email account, and that's rhscheerinc@gmail.com.
Okay.
And then obviously they can just reach out to Roswell High and they can get Coach Rico's information. And that's definitely something that she's been adamant about, getting them out in the community more, just because, I mean, they're cheerleaders. That's their job.
Absolutely. And, it's exposure. It's reminding people, once again, reminding people we're a team, of our own. We're not the Charlie's Angels. We're a skilled bunch of young people that are ready to show off what we can do.
Definitely.
Awesome. Do you guys want to shout out anybody? Anybody you want to say hey to that's listening to FM talk radio at 40 minutes after 8 o'clock on a Thursday morning? Hey, Grandma. Aunt Mabel, maybe?
I would like to shout out to my mom, my dad, and my grandparents.
There you go. Hi, Mom.
I want to shout out my friend Loretta Grotto because I know she's listening. So,
hi,
Loretta.
Hey, Loretta. How are you? Well, ladies, thank you guys so much for your time. We really appreciate you, and keep up the good work.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you for having us.
We absolutely appreciate you. And if you guys have any thing you want to talk about, don't be a stranger. Have Miss Charlotte reach out, and we'll get you guys back on.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks again. 20 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with some local news.
Now for your Pecos Valley news update. I'm Jared Sorello. State health officials are finding a positive measles sample in local wastewater. The discovery was made earlier this month in Chavez County. New Mexico reporting more than 80 measles cases to date. Artesia General Hospital has announced the appointment of Adriana Rodriguez as the leader of the Wound Care and Hyperbaric Medicine Center. AGH cites Rodriguez's background in family practice and emergency medicine and her commitment to providing compassionate and comprehensive care to patients with chronic and non-healing wounds in Artesia and surrounding communities. And a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Tuesday for the new Eddy County Shooting Range expansion. The facility now has indoor plumbing. The association says the range is a great place to hone your shooting skills in any category of sportsmanship. You're up to date. I'm Jared Sorello.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. The catfish has over 27,000 taste buds. Do you think they prefer fried or blackened? Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 18 minutes away from 9 o'clock. If you miss any portion of today's program, you can always go back and check it out in its entirety over at ksvptv.com. Just click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab. I guess this morning's without Mike Winters, but we don't have our own tab yet. Click on the Mornings with Mike Winters tab, and you can check out the show in its entirety. And, of course, our amazing video producer, Miss Jocelyn, she'll have things pieced up for you here in just a little bit over on the Facebook page, so you can enjoy some stuff a la carte. That's the best way to enjoy things I've found. Just one at a time. By the way, I know local business. I'm not an advertiser, but I gotta shout out Pizza Hut. They're still doing the buffet, and it's really good too. Just throwing that out there. You're looking for lunch, get a Pizza Hut and tell them that the fat guy on the morning show sent you. All right. Speaking of foods, I know you're hungry. I know that the morning gets your tummy all rumbly. Well, if you wait until about 11 o'clock today when they open, and maybe you're one of the first people in there, you know you're going to get it fresh. You know you're going to get it good because you've waited, and you've waited. And now, it's back. Rib Crib presents Rib Fest. We're talking endless, unlimited, slow-smoked, righteous ribs, unlimited sides, and unlimited refills for just $19.99. How's that for a deal? Or you can go for the half rack if you're not really feeling all that hungry. Get your two sides. That's just $16.99. That's all day, every day. You can choose from the original. You can choose sweet and sticky, spicy Carolina, Tennessee Red, or Caribbean. And, of course, all your favorite sides, sweet and smoky beans, seasoned fries, fried okra, and just a ton more. Of course, they got their loaded mashed potatoes, which are phenomenal. But it is the most ribtastic time of the year, so let's all celebrate together. Eat ribs and be happy. It is Rib Fest. Unlimited all-you-can-eat ribs all month long, all day, every day at Rib Crib on North Main in Roswell, where they've been smoking the good stuff since 1992. You know a good restaurant when you can roll your windows down and you can just smell it from the road. That's when you know you're in for a culinary experience, as they say. 15 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air moving back into our region, so we'll be getting very warm today. Upper 90s and lots of sunshine. Overnight, a few clouds, a slim chance of a shower. We're in the mid-60s and then getting pretty hot again on Friday. We'll be up around 100, lots of sunshine. No big changes for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s to low 100s Saturday and Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently 74 degrees around Roswell Way, or 23 centigrade if you prefer. Humidity is 62%, winds out of the south at about 13 miles an hour. The barometer at 29.99 inches with a dew point of 60 degrees. It's going to be a hot one, Tater. 97 degrees, mostly sunny skies for the rest of your Thursday. And pretty much expect that as a trend moving forward, with the exception of this evening. It's going to be a hot one out there. Sunny and 97 for today, but for tonight, isolated showers, thunderstorms before midnight, mostly cloudy, then gradually becoming clear, a low of around 66 degrees and winds out of the north 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southwest after midnight. Chance of rain is at 20%. For your Friday, sunny skies, hot, a high of around 100, winds out of the west at around 5 miles an hour, becoming east in the morning. Mostly clear with a low of around 69 degrees for your Friday, south winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, and sunny skies. And hot for your Saturday, 103 for the high, 105 for your Sunday. Just a reminder, local pools are open, and they could absolutely cool you down on a 105-degree Sunday. Good God. 102 for the high on Monday with sunny skies, sunny and 104 for the high on your Tuesday. Then dropping down to a semi-reasonable 99 degrees for your Wednesday. I'm not sure, maybe a cold snap moving through. But grab yourself a light jacket on the way out the door. By the way, Mike sent me a picture yesterday that he can confirm there is still snow on the mountain in Colorado. I'm pretty sure that was a picture of Pikes Peak, maybe. I'm not sure whereabouts they are in Colorado. It might even been the Rockies. But the mountain that he was taking a picture of, there is still snow on top of that mountain. Proof positive that, yes, somewhere in America right now, it's still cool out there. 13 minutes away from 9 o'clock. Let us get you up to date with your Red Apple Market Report.
All across America, this is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report.
Good morning. Stocks will open slightly lower today. Stock averages fell 0.5% or less, even after lower than expected inflation numbers and as the U.S. and China reached a new preliminary trade agreement. The Wall Street Journal reports that in the New Deal, China put a 6-month limit on their rare earth exports to U.S. automakers and manufacturers, so that China will still have leverage if trade tensions flare up again. The Commerce Secretary says the tariffs rate on China will not be more than 55% and won't go up. But Lorianne LaRocco of CNBC says supply chain executives say the damage to supply lines has been done, and retailers say 55% is far too high for them to work with and is not a win for America. Starbucks, down 19% this year, rose yesterday. They say they'll hire more full-time assistant store managers, add thousands of more stores, and restore furniture removed during COVID. Redfin Real Estate says so many houses are for sale, sellers will have to be dropping their prices. Motley Fool says 2 things most Americans say they spend too much on are dining out too often and impulse buying online. With business, I'm Joe Connolly.
This is the Red Apple Audio Network's Market Report. Listen to this podcast now on the Red Apple Podcast Network. Building Bridges, That Which Unites Us. A thought-provoking new podcast hosted by Michael Hirschman, CEO of Solaviv Group.
I'm Michael Hirschman. Join me as I tackle vital national topics that affect the man on the street to the executive suite with unscripted, authentic perspectives that spark in-depth discussions with experts in the field.
Go to buildingbridges.nyc to watch episodes or download wherever you get your podcasts.
Do you know what the hardest part of dealing with the roofer is? Just trying to get them on the phone.
Jennifer here from Trustmark Roofing, and I want you to know that you can always trust Trustmark Roofing to answer our phone. Need a free roof inspection? Just call us at 575-755-ROOF, and we'll answer with a live person, a real human being. Have a roofing project already going with us and need to discuss it? Just call 575-755-ROOF, and we will answer the phone. No answering machine, no voicemails, and no weird robot automated attendant. That's because at Trustmark Roofing, we're all about relationships and treating people right. That's true for customers and vendors and insurance companies and employees. Anyone and everyone who comes in contact with our company. So if you have any roofing needs at all, trust Trustmark to treat you right and to answer the phone. Our number again is 575-755-ROOF, or find us online at trustmarkroofpros.com.
Trustmark Roofing, we put people first.
Every year, thousands of nursing home and assisted living residents face neglect and mistreatment. But as an ombudsman, you can be a voice for those who often go unheard. And we're looking for volunteers. Ombudsmen advocate for residents' rights and ensure quality care. It's an incredibly fulfilling experience. I know because I am one. Whether you're retired or just starting your career, your dedication and compassion will make a significant impact. Learn about volunteering as an ombudsman today at aging.nm.gov/volunteer. Sponsored by this station and the NMBA.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. Men are 6 times more likely to be struck by lightning than women. That's because men are 6 times more likely to wear a tinfoil hat in a thunderstorm. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning. 10 minutes away from 9 o'clock on your Thursday morning. A morning without Mike Winters. I had to Google it because I've heard the term for years now, and I've just kind of brushed off. Like, I'll learn it one day. What is an ombudsman? I just didn't ever know. I've never heard or thought about, what actually is it? Well, let me clarify for those who don't know. An ombudsman is an official typically appointed by the government or parliament who investigates complaints against public authorities or private organizations. The ombudsman's role is to ensure fairness and accountability, acting as an independent intermediary between individuals and the institutions that they have grievances against. Ombudsmen's aim to resolve disputes through mediation and recommendations. They also identify systemic issues, learn to reach on, that lead to poor service or violations of rights. So basically standing up for the working man or for the little man against big old corporations. And hey, if you want to volunteer to be an ombudsman, they can make it happen for you. Just a reminder, tonight, that's right, tonight is your chance to join the Roswell Invaders at the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico / New Mexico Youth Challenge Academy Night. It's going down at Joe Bauman Stadium tonight, starting at 6:30 p.m. Your Roswell Invaders taking on the Pecos Bills, and it's a great chance to see both the amazing Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico out on display, as well as the fine folks from the New Mexico Youth Challenge. That I feel like I need to call this out. This is the flyer that went out. This is the one that everybody got to see. You spelled challenge wrong. New Mexico Youth Challenge Night, Academy Night. So come on out and see the Youth Challenge as they show off what they do best, which is, of course, building young people into better people. It's an amazing, amazing organization, and we want to see it succeed. So come on out and celebrate with us tonight. Root for the home team as your Roswell Invaders take on the Pecos Bills, as well as watching the 1956 Lions Hondo Little League World Series champions throwing out the first pitch, and your chance to check out the Historical Society for Southeastern New Mexico booth. Lots of informative information and maybe even a few little surprises. Maybe she'll bring out some of the books from local authors that would give you a cool chance to kind of dive into history. I got, by the way, from Miss Cindy Sloan Butts yesterday, a stack of all of her Holocaust historical fiction that I'm really looking forward to diving into. One thing I got to say about her books, it's spaced really well. I was pointing this out as somebody who's nearsighted. It's spaced very, very well so that you don't feel like you're overwhelmed or get lost on a line. When I'm nearsighted, I was mentioning I read the Harry Potter series, and I was on the 5th book, and that book was so dense, and the paragraphs were so close together. I ended up reading several lines over and over again, just kind of getting lost in the text and the translation thereof. So it's really helpful that her books are spaced really well, so you can kind of power through one, really feel like you accomplished something. Took a big old bite of something, basically what it is. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to diving into those, and hopefully we can find something interesting in the pages of those books. Put this on your radar, because coming up tomorrow night and every Friday night throughout the summertime season, we are giving you the chance to enjoy a movie under the night sky. It sounds like it's going to be a beautiful, clear Friday night tomorrow night, and your chance to go on out and check out Mufasa. That's right, the CGI remake of The Lion King. In this case, this is the prequel to that. It's the story of Mufasa. You can come on out and enjoy that with your friends and your family under the stars. Bring a lawn chair, bring a blanket, bring a picnic, if you will, but they're going to have food trucks and accommodations out there for you as well. So bring some folding money and come on out and enjoy the movie Under the Night Skies, thanks to our friends at Roswell Night Skies. That's going to be happening at the Rusticay Soccer Complex at 1500 North Grand. The movie begins at sunset, so around 8:30 p.m., give or take, as we get into the summertime a little deeper. That sunset is going to be pushed back a little further. So once the sun goes down and the screen is clearly visible, that's when they'll start the movie Under the Stars. It's a great lineup for the rest of the summer as well. They got Paddington in Peru. They're going to be showing on the 20th of June. I'm a huge fan of the Paddington series. It's a real low impact entry into kids stuff, in that your kids find something to enjoy out of it. Parents, it's wholesome, and you feel like you're actually getting something out of it, because there are a few jokes kind of fly over the kid's head. Those are for mom and dad. A few references to things from our childhood and maybe not our kids' childhood. The hits just keep on coming, because the 27th of June, The Wild Robot is going to be up on the big screen. This movie, critically acclaimed. People have not stopped talking about the cinematic masterpiece that is The Wild Robot. And I've only seen a little bit of this movie. I still need to sit down and finish the whole thing. But from what I've seen, they do such a good job of just dropping you in. Like, just they don't have to, no complicated, in 2006 backstory or whatever. They just, here it is. And it's exciting, because you get to kind of learn as you go the way that the robot's doing. I'm putting too much into it, but it is definitely worth your time. That movie's going to be out on the 27th on the big screen there at Rusticay Soccer Complex. Another great one coming up on the 11th of July. That's actually my daughter's birthday. Elemental. If you've never seen Elemental, Disney and Pixar specifically, does such an amazing job of telling these complicated backstories and painting universes with stuff like emotions, or in this case, elements. And it's a fantastic watch. I enjoyed it just as much as my kids did. But that movie on July 11th at Rusticay Soccer Complex. Moving through the rest of the summertime season, Disney's Wish going to be taking the big screen over on the 18th of July. Then on the 25th of July, a classic in the Disney princess canon, Disney's Princess and the Frog, on the 25th of July. Coming up on August 1st, the original, the OG, Inside Out. The whole reason that I have Anger as my spirit animal still here in studio. That's going to be on the 1st of August. And then rounding out the summertime movie experience on the 8th of August, Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Dolittle. Make of that what you will. At least he's not in blackface in this one. The movies begin around sunset, right about 8:30 p.m. at the Rusticay Soccer Complex at 1500 North Grand Avenue. If you want more information, you can get it by heading over to roswellnightskies.org. That's roswellnightskies.org. And they'll have all the info for you about movies in the park from our friends at Roswell Night Skies. By the way, help out that organization if you can, because they're the ones making events like this happen. Their whole goal is to just bring the community together with events like this. So if you can, help out Roswell Night Skies in their endeavors to bring our community together. What a concept. Hey, stay tuned. Next hour of the program, we have scheduled to be in studio around 9:15 or so, Miss Roswell. So we'll dive into what it's like in the realms of pageant work and pageantry, and see what her goal is for her reigning year. We'll dive into that coming up here in the 9 o'clock hour. And of course, you can catch the show in its entirety over at ksbptv.com in case you missed any portion of the program and you just want to go back, or just show your friends, hey, I was that girl in the third seat. You are listening to 106.5 KEND, Roswell, New Mexico. Stay tuned.
Your home for Sean Hannity in Roswell. 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM, KEND, Roswell, New Mexico.
News this hour from townhall.com. I'm Rich Thomason. An aviation disaster in India, apparently no survivors.
An Air India passenger plane with over 240 people on board has crashed Thursday in India's northwestern city of Ahmedabad, according to the airline and local media. Local Moham Nakum filmed the smoke billowing from the crash site near the airport in Ahmedabad as onlookers watched on in shock.
Correspondent Karen Chama says Boeing 787 crashed minutes after takeoff. Air India flight AI-171 was bound for London's Gatwick Airport. The UN's atomic monitors officially declared Iran out of compliance with its nuclear obligations. In response, Iran says it's going to commission another uranium enrichment facility. That's fueling speculation that Israel is preparing to attack Iran's nuclear sites, the U.S. evacuating non-essential personnel from parts of the Mideast. Federal court hearing on tap today on whether the Trump administration can use the National Guard and the Marines to assist with immigration enforcement in Los Angeles.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has filed an emergency motion. He's requesting the court's intervention after President Trump ordered the deployment of National Guard members and Marines to Los Angeles. The administration took this step in response to protests over increased immigration enforcement. The hearing is scheduled for this Thursday afternoon in the federal court in San Francisco.
That's correspondent Andrew Stewart. The rowdy demonstrations that started in Los Angeles have spread to other cities, and taking no chances that things could spin out of control, Texas Governor Greg Abbott has already deployed the National Guard across his state. Watching Wall Street, the Dow is down about 14 points, on the NASDAQ trading 47 points higher. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Everybody wants cheap airfare, but where do you find it? You call low-cost airlines. Their prices are direct from the airlines, and they're so low you can't find these fares published anywhere. They specialize in cheap flights, discount hotel rooms, cheap car rental rates, and great package deals anywhere around the world. Wherever you want to go, they can help you get there cheaply and with a best price guarantee. If you want the lowest prices on your airline tickets or other travel services, call now. That's right, call. That's the only way to get these rates. Experts are standing by 24/7 to get you the cheapest airfare and hotel rates available. So don't wait. Call right now for the lowest travel prices anywhere and for great last-minute travel deals too.
Call 866-755-5300. That's 866-755-5300. Again, that's 866-755-5300. Call us right now.
Extend their winning streak to 5 at the congressional baseball game.
Democrats just can't seem to catch a break these days, especially on the baseball diamond. For the 5th year in a row, Republicans won the annual congressional baseball game, beating the Democrats 13-2. The red team kept it to business as usual, starting Representative Greg Steube of Florida on the mound for his 6th consecutive outing. Democrats shook things up a bit from last year, choosing Pennsylvania's Chris Deluzzo instead of California's Pete Aguilar to lead things off. In total, the event raised more than $2.81 million, a significant bump from last year's $2.2 million. Bernie Bennett reporting.
A team of about 60 researchers spending 6 weeks in the Great Plains chasing hail. First of its kind giant science project could eventually help better forecast an underappreciated weather hazard that costs the United States about $10 billion a year in damage to cars, roofs, and agriculture. News and analysis, townhall.com. In Arkansas, it's controversy over the Decalogue.
7 families have filed a lawsuit challenging Arkansas's requirement that public school classrooms display the 10 Commandments. The families filed the lawsuit Wednesday in federal court challenging the law, which is set to take effect in August. The law was signed in April by Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders. It mirrors a similar law enacted in Louisiana and another measure that Texas's governor has said he will sign. Keith Peters, Washington.
Echoing yesterday's report on consumer prices, today's readout on prices at the wholesale level shows that inflation did remain mild last month. The producer price index rose just 2.6% in May. This was despite all of the gloom and doom predictions about what the Trump tariffs would do to prices. Apparently, those tariffs have done little, if anything, to impact prices in the U.S. More on these stories, townhall.com.
What in the wide, wide world of sports is going on here?
I promise you, whatever scum did this, not one man in this force will rest for 1 minute until he's behind bars. Now let's grab a bite to eat. Yeah, come on.
I feel the hot wind on my shoulder and the touch of a world that is older. I hit the switch and check the number. I leave it on and then I slumber. I hear the rhythm ringing through it. Flamenco guitar and cumbia music. I hear the talking of the DJ. The Travelician, what does he say? I'm on a Mexican radio. I'm on a Mexican radio.
Broadcasting live from high atop the J.P. White Building in downtown Roswell, New Mexico. It's Mornings with Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM.
Is that what I sound like when I talk?
Now, here's your host, Mike Winters.
And good morning. It is 6 minutes after 9 o'clock. I feel so bad. You don't have to keep running in here doing that. Welcome to hour number 3.
Tracy Nears.
Of A Morning Without Mike Winters on 106.5 Roswell's Talk FM. Happy Thursday to you. By the way, I've got to applaud and thank overwhelmingly Miss Jocelyn, who has really gone above and beyond this week to keep all the plates spinning in this crazy world that we call morning radio. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes. It's not just, me or some random baldo dude in front of a camera. There's the inner machinations of camera work and of figuring all that out. There's booking, and there's booking of guests and opening doors, making sure people are comfortable. There's a whole lot that goes into this thing. So big thanks to Miss Jocelyn for stepping up this weekend and knocking it out. Hopefully your Thursday off to a great start. Mixmaster Mike Winters is off enjoying his time out in Colorado. They were showing some pictures of the cliff dwellings up there, I believe Mesa Verde, and just some beautiful area and landscape. So they're enjoying themselves, of course, and we will check back in with him, and he'll have lots and lots of stories for us when he comes back to regale us on Monday morning. I'm sure we'll be able to take some time to just chit-chat and see how things are going, the state of the Winters clan. And by the way, in case they are listening, I did want to say once again, big apologies to Miss Kim. I had every intention to go check on the cats yesterday. Things just sort of, I lost track of time, and then I had to go get the kids, and then time makes fools of us all. But I will be doing it today. I've set an alarm on my phone to go off at lunchtime just to remind me, go check on the cats. So I will be, I'll be taking care of that for you today. Promise. There we go. 8 minutes after 9 o'clock on a Thursday morning. Like we mentioned, this week coming to, drawing to a close. We're getting there slowly but surely. And a big thanks to each and every one of you out there for sticking with us throughout the entirety of this week of A Morning Without Mike Winters. Let me give you the rundown for this hour of the program. I know she just poked her head in just a few minutes ago. Ms. Barbara Gomez with Main Street Roswell going to be joining us. Now, I'm looking for a yay or nay on this. Is that alongside Miss Roswell, or are we just talking to Miss Barbara about kind of everything that's happening? Is that a thumb up? Your room is dark. I can't see. Either way, we'll have some folks in here to talk about upcoming events. Obviously, UFO Festival's coming up. We're getting into festival season. Maybe we'll be chatting with Miss Roswell. It's always a surprise because there's a wall here. I wish they would carve a window out so I could kind of see what's actually happening out there. But either way, we'll be chatting with Miss Barbara Gomez coming up here in just a few minutes. Real quickly on this Thursday morning, I wanted to remind you that coming up next Tuesday, got some big plans for you. Or if you do have big plans, go ahead and cancel them because Dion's Pizza, they've got your dinner set, and you're going to be helping out a great cause. Next Tuesday, June 17th, Community Night at Dion's on South Main and West Wildey. This time benefiting the Roswell Genesis Youth Flag Football League. A portion of all sales between the hours of 5 and 8 p.m. will be donated to the group. You can stop by, you can call ahead, or you can order online for some of the best pizza, salad, sandwiches, and sides in the game. You can dine in, or just like I said, call ahead for a quick pickup. Download the app, and you can always order that way as well. Big thanks to Dion's for supporting the Roswell Genesis Youth Flag Football Program. That's going to be happening next Tuesday, June 17th. Grab your friends, grab your family, and enjoy an evening of pizza and sides, and salads, and all the good stuff. Eat all full, fat, and happy, and help out a great cause at the same time. 11 minutes now after 9 o'clock on this here Thursday morning. Let us get you up to date with the weather.
I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton with your Pecos Valley weather. We have dry air moving back into our region, so we'll be getting very warm today. Upper 90s and lots of sunshine. Overnight, a few clouds, a slim chance of a shower. We're in the mid-60s and then getting pretty hot again on Friday. We'll be up around 100, lots of sunshine. No big changes for the upcoming weekend. Upper 90s to low 100s Saturday and Sunday and sunny. That's your latest forecast. I'm meteorologist Steve Hamilton.
Thank you, Steve. Currently, I'm trying to hand off some paperwork. Here we go. Oh, okay, she's got the whole flyer. Currently, around Roswell Way, like I said, folks, it's a madhouse around here. We're just trying to keep all the plates spinning. We are looking at right around 78 degrees around Roswell Way, or 26 centigrade if you prefer. Humidity is at 54%, winds out of the south at around 12 miles an hour, with a barometer of 30.0 inches and a dew point of 60 degrees. That's not going to be dewy much longer because the dew's going to fade away and the sun is going to take over the story today. Mostly sunny skies, 97 degrees for the high today. For tonight, though, a slight chance for some showers before midnight, mostly cloudy, then becoming mostly clear, a low of around 66 degrees for the overnight low. Chance of precipitation is at 20%. For your Friday, sunny skies and hot, a high of around 100. Winds out of the west 5 miles an hour, becoming east in the morning, and then mostly clear for Friday night. 69 for the overnight low, winds out of the south 5 to 10 miles an hour. For Saturday, sunny skies, hot, 103 for the high, winds out of the southeast at around 5 miles an hour. Mostly clear with a low of around 70 degrees for your Saturday night, and pretty much back into the oven as we head into the back half of the weekend. 105 for the high on Sunday, 102 for Monday, back up to 104 for your Tuesday. The relief of double digits on Wednesday with 98 degrees for the high. Maybe, take a light coat with you before you head out the door. 13 minutes after 9 o'clock. Going to pause, pay a couple of these bills, and after these, sitting down, chit-chatting with Ms. Barbara Gomez from Main Street, Roswell, on the other side of these on a morning without Mike Winters. Stay tuned.
Join us for an unforgettable evening at our annual fundraiser dinner and auction, The Taste of the Spencer, on June 21st. All proceeds will support the Spencer Theater in furthering our mission to enrich the cultural lives of South Central New Mexico's residents and visitors. Tickets are $135 and can be purchased online at spencertheater.com or by calling the box office at 575-336-4800. We'll see you at the Spencer.
Hey CVE members, have you scheduled your no-cost home energy audit? If not, it's time to sign up. Call 575-746-3571 to get your name on the list for a free home energy audit. Weather stripping, new door sweeps, minor repairs, and much more. Start saving money and keep that purchased air in your home. Central Valley Electric Cooperative is happy to partner with Green Metal Energy for this valuable audit. Again, 575-746-3571.
Do you want to improve the appearance of your smile or increase your self-esteem and confidence? Many people have already chosen to update their smile with veneers. Here at Carabelli Dental in Roswell, we work with our patients to understand their smile goals. With veneer treatment, we can eliminate gaps between teeth, solve the problems of stained teeth, and even perfect uneven or misshaped teeth. You owe it to yourself to have the smile you know is possible. Call us now.
Come see the team at Carabelli Dental or call 575-622-4455.
Have you experienced the Valley Cafe yet? It's much more than lunch or dinner. It's an experience. Chef Anthony Noble is a nominated Chef of the Year and manager with a 4.9 out of 5 kitchen cleanliness rating and a 4.8 out of 5 most love rating. It's time for you to experience the difference that so many others already have at the Valley Cafe. Visit for lunch or dinner at 801 West Brasher, the Orange Building across from Church on the Move in Roswell, and save the Valley Cafe in your contacts. 575-755-EATS, 575-755-3287. Don't forget, we can cater your event too, and a portion of our proceeds go to the Dream Center in Roswell.
The Apostle Paul writes a letter to a preacher named Titus, who is ministering on the island of Crete. The inhabitants of the island were about as far from God as they could be, yet Paul sends Titus to preach the good news of God's grace and forgiveness. The world we live in today seems like it could not be further from God as well. But Jesus was sent for the world of today, too. Hear these words of Paul to Titus. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all wickedness and to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. This same call is open today. No matter where you find yourself, God waits for you to answer the call.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
Here's a Mornings with Mike Winters fun fact. You burn more calories sleeping than you do watching television. For the ultimate workout, fall asleep in front of the TV. Here's Mike Winters.
And good morning, 16 minutes after 9 o'clock on this Thursday morning without Mike Winters. And joining us in studio this morning from Main Street, Roswell, Ms. Barbara Gomez. How are you doing this morning?
Oh, good morning.
I mean,
I was telling you, morning's been fun.
We
Let's
discussed
just say that.
off the air that if it seems like on mornings that you're running late, on mornings that you're trying to rush to get out the door, that's when everything happens.
Yes,
And
yes.
Sounds like everything happened to you
yes,
this morning.
The dogs were fighting over one bone, which it's not ever fun.
Hey, you learned the lesson next time.
That's right.
Two tracheas.
Oh, that's right. I never heard of tracheas, but apparently dogs really like them.
They go
really
nuts.
like them.
They go nuts.
Yeah, and in the middle of it, you guys, a bird flew into my house this morning. You ever try to get a bird out with two dogs?
It's the worst. It's
going
like
crazy.
If you ever gotten a fly or a moth in your house, and you open the window and they get soaked, they don't know how to work it. Multiply that times 30, and also the dogs wanting to eat the bird.
Yes,
it's chaos.
But hey, you know what? The bird got out and everything got fine. So yeah, I got to get ready and get here to be on the show. So that was exciting.
The best part of it is, that's probably the worst thing that's going to happen today.
Yay!
I'm
knocking on wood.
I know.
Okay.
I'm just saying, because now you just get to enjoy a day in the office, and of course, a day getting ready for another weekend of chaos, which is the UFO Festival.
Yes.
Fast
so
approaching.
you guys, this is really getting exciting. It's really getting fun. If you have not been to UFOfestival.com website, now hear me out, UFOfestival.com. There's some pull-down menus. It'll give you the ability to look at the entertainment. So if you're asking me, because I get these calls all the time, what kind of genre, what kind of music, who's going to be there, you can look it up and it'll have a whole list. It's a schedule of events, the times, the places where everybody's going to be, because we have two stages this year, just like we did last year. So one on the 500 block and the other one on the 100 South block of Main Street. And so you'll see their flyers, you'll see their times. And so come out and support local, fantastic talent.
Absolutely.
We do have some out-of-town talent coming.
Which I'm very excited about. We'll dive into that coming up.
Yeah,
here in just
so
a
that's
minute.
going to be really, really fun to listen to some of them. And, of course, the music's going to be incredible. The food's going to be incredible. So you don't want to miss out on this year's UFO Festival.
100%. That's the best part about being a local during UFO Festival time is, you can kind of, ingratiate yourself with the tourists. You can kind of, branch out a little bit even with your wardrobe. Wear something a little crazy, something you wouldn't wear, on a normal day because it's UFO Festival weekend. This is our chance to let our freak flags fly.
Yeah, I mean, how many times are you going to get a chance to wear your alien ears or dress, your alien antennas and paint yourself green or be a whole green man or
Exactly.
Yeah.
And of course, the food is going to be fantastic. I always try to find that one place that serves something inside of a pineapple. It's like a juice blend or something. It looks phenomenal. And I know it's financing available, but it's definitely a show drink. It's one of those like when you go out to Vegas, you buy your yard marg,
That's right.
You got to have your pineapple drink to show off to the people.
That's right.
But it's sounding like everything's coming together. Where the festivities are loading up. We're gonna have a ton of stuff for folks out there as far, entertainment wise. So let's talk about some of the entertainment at this year's festival.
Okay, let's talk about that. But first, let me remind you of something that's different this year.
Okay.
That didn't happen last year. We are starting not on July the 4th, but July the 3rd,
right,
which is on a Thursday. And I know some of you are working and saying, oh, my goodness, I'm going to not be able to be out there. We don't open up the food trucks or vendors till 3 o'clock on Thursday. Now, the reason we're doing that is because that night, the city of Roswell is sponsoring a drone show.
Awesome.
And the drone show will actually be able to be seen down the Main Street corridor, down the Main Street drag.
Very cool.
So that you can go out there, grab you something to eat, and we are going to have music that night. And so you can listen to the couple of the bands that'll be out there and then watch the drone show. So we're kind of starting it early on a Thursday. And then, of course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, it's blown out full days of things going on. But since we're talking about Thursday, about what's going on, so we are going to have a DJ part of the day, but I'm having a young lady coming who calls herself Jane Violet as Cassidy Brown Alien. So she writes her own music.
Okay.
You cannot believe how beyond excited this young lady is. She's coming from California.
Awesome.
She's bouncing off the walls to be here, so she's going to be here.
Is she like psychedelic pop or does she incorporate alien?
You know what? She calls herself kind of a space cowboy, kind of.
Okay.
Space alien cowboy. So I'm not quite sure what kind of music she's going to be playing, but if you want to find her, she's got a really cute persona with this blonde hair and this metallic looking clothes. So she's going to be really great. That Thursday also we're going to have the Green Chili Gumbo Band coming.
Ooh, okay.
Now their name sounds delicious.
It certainly does.
But they are the 44th Army Band. They are a military band, and they are really great. So don't get confused or fooled by the fact that they might be wearing Army uniforms, fatigues, because they play great, and their style of music is Dixie.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to hear some Dixie band music.
If you want to talk about some of the most well-trained musicians on the planet, the Army, the Navy, and the Marine bands are second to none. If you've ever been to one of their shows, one of their concerts at the hall, the level of playing, the level of ability they have is insane. And the fact they can take that and incorporate it into a Dixie style, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I'm really excited to hear that one as well. And we may have some dances with, the Charlie's Angels always come out, or the Folklóricos, and give you a little bit of demonstration, which are always great. And then we're going to round out the night with Mammoth Cults. So if you've never heard of them, I understand from them they're on the premises of maybe this will be the last year that I want to get them for free. Or I don't get them for free.
Yeah, but for the rate that we're getting them for.
I mean, their manager said, we're getting ready to explode.
And that's exciting.
So,
Roswell tends to be kind of a springboard for folks like
Yes.
that. Like, people forget, we had Kane Brown before Kane Brown was cool.
We did?
It was the
Really?
year. It was the year right before he went big.
I didn't know that.
We had him. I believe it was at the fair, or at one of the maybe it was at one of the mid-year events. I'm not real sure. Party on the River. What is
Wow.
sure, but we had him. Yeah. So
these guys are getting ready to roll out big, and so they just said, Barbara, anywhere that you can put us, we just really would love to sing. So they will be there on Thursday, and kind of, I guess, coming in just right before the drones, but they're staying afterwards as well.
Awesome.
So they'll be around. And then as we move into Friday.
By the way, I got to say a quick shout out to my buddy DJ Hendog. He's going to be doing the DJ sets.
You know what? Thank you for doing that.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because DJ Hendog is going to be on the main stage.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be his place. So he's going to be doing some introducing. He's going to be doing some music.
Mm-hmm.
So don't think it's going to be sitting around quiet there. There's going to be something happening on that stage the whole time. I hear he's really great.
He's a master of reading the room.
Wow.
He'll like whatever's happening, he can kind of he has the hard drive of hits, and he'll just kind of shape the music around. Like if it's an older crowd, an older demo, he'll kind of skew to maybe 60s, 70s stuff.
Yeah.
He's real good at kind of.
Well, I'm excited to have them. He came recommended to me by some of the bands as somebody that would be good for that DJ job. So I'm excited that he's going to be there. So thank you, DJ Hendog.
Yes.
Again, starting on Friday, DJ will start the day for us. We're also going to have either the Angels or the Folklóricos somewhere in that mix. I have a group, this was kind of really interesting. There are only a couple of guys, but they are also coming from Arizona. Okay. And these are people, Sean, I get asked all the time, can we come down? We won't charge you anything.
Sure.
Can you pay for our gas or at least a hotel? We just want to be a part of what's happening with the UFO Festival.
And that's the cool thing about UFO Festival is we do our best to make it big, but the name itself, Roswell UFO Festival, it sells itself.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're getting inundated with calls.
Yeah, I mean even today.
We just want to be there.
I mean, I saw it on Facebook. Hey, what does someone have to do to get on this? I keep getting the runaround. No, I'm not trying to give anybody the runaround. It's just about right now. The schedule is already full. Sure. You want to sing, you need to let me know months before now. Right. You need to let me know because the entertainment starts filling up.
Tell you what, the festival this year wraps up on July 6th. Get a hold of Miss Barbara on July 7th if you want to be a part of next year's show. That's
kind of the best thing to do is let us know early. Now, the name of the people that are coming from Arizona, their name is Alien Armor.
Okay.
They are progressive space rock.
Nice.
And they are an instrumental. So I'm really interested to hear what kind of interesting music they're going to play.
I was watching something the other day, and it just made me chuckle. It was like an immersive space experience, and they were handing out snacks, and they're like, here are your space pretzels. It doesn't make something spacey just to say space before the thing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you're going to put the word space into your...
Make it spacey.
Exactly.
Make it a little spacey.
Lean into it.
Yeah. So then, of course, we have DGPs. Those of you that don't know who that is.
GDP, which is Gross Domestic People, of course, featuring our own Wonder Woman in there, Miss Jocelyn on the bass. And actually, I didn't get a chance to ask, Joss, are you guys working sound too this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
Okay. I was just curious. I should have asked you off air, honestly.
Yeah. No. They're not working sound. As a matter of fact, J&S Pro Sound. Saul is in charge of all of my sound.
Very cool.
The production, the microphones. I've been getting a lot of calls from some of our musicians saying, hey, Barbara, will you have this? Will you have that? And I always have to just say, I have J&S Pro Sound, and they're going, okay, we're good.
That's all we need to know.
I know what they do, so they're good. But anyway, these two guys, there might be 2 or 3 of them. They're coming from Arizona. They're taking care of themselves. And there were another group that was saying, we don't care where you put us, just put us someplace. And then, of course, Gross Domestic People. Yes. I've asked people, what is your genre? Like, what is your music? What are you playing? And they are more rock. Mm-hmm. And so that's going to be, so those of you that would like to have some rock music.
Yes. The answer to that question, by the way, when you ask what is your genre is, yes.
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 Yes, we play a little bit of everything.
And that's what's really cool is each member of GDP kind of has their own background in a certain style or genre of music. And so they bring their own flavor to the band. And it all kind of comes together. It's really, really cool.
Now, you will get right after them, after the GDP, Gross Domestic People, We're going to have, again, Jane Violet, Cassidy Brown, in case you missed her on Thursday. And if you missed Mammoth Cults, again, they will be playing on Friday. But then we're bringing in New Groove. And if you guys have not heard of New Groove, they play everything from Mexican to country, cover songs, and some of their own music.
They're a real party band.
Yeah, they really, really, really are. And so they're going to be the ones playing right before another 44th Army Band group called Breaking Brass. This is a whole group of brass.
Of just brass? Oh,
just brass. So
like
that's going to be fun.
It's kind of an old school brass band, mindset. Like if you think like, Louisiana, that kind of like that Creole sound.
Yeah. And so
dig it.
They're going to be at the end because Friday is 4th of July, you guys. And so we don't have a fireworks thing going. And of course we did the drone show on Thursday and sorry that we're doing it on Thursday. They were already booked for Friday. So we want to
figure.
So we went ahead and had those on, and of course thank you to the city of Roswell to put that on Thursday. But Breaking Brass Band will be playing a few patriotics, but they just said to me, Barbara, please, can we please be kind of like a headliner? Or at the end, he said, people just stick us down there at 10 o'clock in the morning when nobody listens. And we work hard at this band.
Absolutely.
And we're really pretty good.
I dig the name too, Breaking Brass. That's
Breaking Brass, not Breaking Bad, but Breaking Brass. Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
And then we move into Saturday. Saturday, we will be having the alien costume contest.
Okay.
Now, listen up, you guys. I know we've done it on the courthouse lawn in the past. And last year we did it on the stage. It turned out really, really cool because it kind of puts them a little higher.
Sure.
We're able to describe what they're wearing better. And as you might have heard earlier, the last interview I had, Todd Versiglio, what does he call himself? The Hobbit.
The Hobbit, yeah.
The Hobbit is going to be helping us out with the alien costume contest only because he's been the top winner of the contest for the last 3 or 4 years.
It's like, how, and the guy's name just left my head, but how like when Jeopardy had that week of champions, Ken Jennings, that's his name. The guy who won all the money, and all of a sudden now he's the host of Jeopardy. So there you go. Be the winningest in something, and that can
and he kind of has a bit of an insight. I know that he has won, and so he's looked at other costumes.
Yeah.
But guess what? He is dressing up that day. And I'm sorry, I don't remember his character, but he's going to be walking around even before the alien costume contest.
Okay, that means he's got something big.
He's got something big, so you won't recognize him because I believe he and his son will be walking around in full Star Wars or whatever they are. I really don't know their names, but they will be there. And that will be happening this year at the lineup at 12 noon, and we'll go till 2:30 that day on the main stage. Okay. This year we have some guys coming from Carlsbad. They're called Carson City Rebels.
Okay.
They play a little bit of everything. Country, they play rock, they play a little bit of everything. It's my first time to hear them, but they come highly recommended. And then right after them is Proud Pete. This is the Mexico State University band.
Oh, really?
They are a group of around, I think they're like 13 to 16 members.
Holy moly.
They bring in the fun. I mean, it's high energy, excitement. So they're really, really fun. So they're coming in just right before our headliner.
Very cool.
So you're not going to miss out on anything. If you come early, you're going to hear something good. And if you stay later, you're going to hear our headliner this year is Josh Knight.
Okay.
And we're also he's not. He's part of the headliner. In the beginning starts Josh Knight. And then right after him will be Tyrone Vaughn. Now, does that name Vaughn sound familiar to you?
It does. I'm not sure why, but it absolutely does. I mean, besides the fact there's Vaughn, New Mexico.
Well, you've heard of Stevie Ray Vaughan?
No, really. So this is like his
it's kind
son?
of like a nephew or something that his father was part of the band. He plays blues.
Okay.
So Josh Knight will start. His genre and things he's going to do is a little bit different, but they're taking up a whole hour, almost 2 hours there of time. So one will start, the next one will come in, and that night is the only night that will be there till 11 p.m.
That's on Saturday night.
That's on Saturday night.
Gotcha.
Because they kind of had to end up taking a little bit of break because that same night at 8:30 we start the UFO parade.
Okay.
So they're going to keep playing until we see the parade, coming. They will stop singing for just a little bit, or they may just keep going. I don't know.
Sure.
But then the parade will be coming through. So it will start at 8:30 and it will go 8:30, 9:30 is however long it takes.
Sure.
I never know how long the parade is going to be.
I'm curious, how are we on signups? And are there still
It's
spaces available?
It's a little slow, but I'll be honest with you, Sean. It's Roswell.
Yeah, of course. We live in the land of mañana.
We live in the land of mañana. I'm sure Saturday at my booth on the courthouse lawn, I'll have people waving their paper at me saying, I want to be there.
Ripping open boxes of Christmas lights like, hold on, let me just set this up.
Hold on. I'm almost ready here.
Wait for 1 second. Hold the parade.
Hold the parade. And now just know, we're going to try to put you into categories so that the judges can judge your float. But if you don't turn in your paperwork and we don't know where you belong, you're going at the back of the bus.
Sure.
Okay? Because we don't know where else to put you. But that Saturday night's going to be really, really cool. So, again, then on Sunday, this is a great time for some of you people that say, you know what, I can sing better than that guy. I think I can do something like that. Maybe they'll have me next year. It will be open mic. So it will be local talent, karaoke. But, of course, DJ Hendog will be there. He will be starting off everything. So you say, you know what, I'm ready to sing. Put me up there.
I was just talking.
Put me in, coach, right?
Put me in, coach. I was just talking to somebody earlier and saying, by far, the best karaoke song on the planet.
Which one?
Is Tequila.
Because
you just stand there for about 2 minutes straight. And you just go, Tequila. That's it. And sit back down.
Wait a second. Is that the Pee Wee Herman song?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you can dress up like Pee Wee Herman.
There you go. You can do the dance.
You can do the little dance. Yep. And all you have to do is walk by the microphone every once in a while and say tequila.
Exactly.
Yeah, that'll be really, really fun.
That's
okay. So
awesome.
That's going to be Sunday. Now, mind you, that is just the main stage.
Okay.
I haven't talked to you about the cultural stage, which is the one that's on the south side, which is in front of El Toro Bravo. And so there's going to be excitement throughout the whole district, guys. So it's not just going to be on the at the courthouse lawn. A lot of people think that it is kind of the epicenter, but that doesn't mean that there isn't food, vendors, excitement.
We own downtown.
We own downtown during this time, correct. So again, we have a DJ on the south side, and then at that one, it's going to be more of of course, Jane Violet's going to be singing over there. The progressive rock's going over there. But we are also going to have the band Dulzura. So if you have not ever heard Dulzura, they play some great, they're very well known in New Mexico for the great music that they play. That's Mexican music, a great mix of music. Again, we're going to bring in those Carlsbad guys. Okay, what are you smiling about?
It was funny to me because I have a really good friend of mine who's, who made fun of me because what we don't think about is when you say, when we think, Mexican music, we think of a specific Tejano. There's norteña, there's cumbia, there's all these different genres. Yes. And my friend was just laughing at me like, it's not just Mexican music. I'm like, I know, but so there's so many different styles of that regional Mexican music.
Right.
And that's what's so exciting about it.
These usually what happens. This is what happened last year. That on the excuse me, the Cultural Plaza. These folks don't waste this good music standing around tapping their feet.
Right.
They get out there and start dancing. I mean, they're having a fantastic time because how can you not dance to really, really great music? So come prepared to dance. You can. We're going to have a room in front of the stages for you to dance if you'd like to. And again, there on that stage, we're going to have our local wonderful folclóricos, Así Se Baila. They may pop up in different areas as well.
Okay.
So, they'll be dancing in front of the stages before things happen. Again, we're moving Proud Pete. I mean, this is going to be a work in progress, let me tell you, because they end, let me see where they at on Saturday. Let me see where they're at. But either way, they're going to be ending at one stage and
just
hustling
Yep.
to the other stage. So they sent me a message saying, how's this going to work, Barbara? I said, the way it's going to work is I'm going to have golf carts, stage hands.
There you go.
We're going to dump all you guys inside of all this,
Yep.
and we're going to rush you through the crowds to the next stage.
There you go.
So they'll be playing.
That's superstar status too. When you're like, you're getting the VIP treatment as a band.
You are getting a VIP treatment.
Maybe we can hire some screaming girls to like run at them while they're running to the golf carts.
Yeah. So and you know what? And something that I missed on Friday. On Friday we are going to have a true. You were talking about the different styles of music, starting at about 8:30. We're going to have a group. It got left off of my schedule because maybe Barbara did not review it well enough. But either way, the group that's going to be there, it's going to be called El Origen Norteño.
Okay.
That stands for the original norteño. So that's going to be really, really, well, I guess what I say, real Mexican music, traditional Mexican music. So they're coming out on after the Carson City Rebels.
Okay.
And then, again, like I said to you, we're going to have Proud Pete running from one end to the other. And Saturday night's going to be rounded out with New Groove again.
Nice.
So we will be having, of course, the alien costume contest, the parade, the pet contest in the middle of all that.
Now, are we going to do the human contest and the pet contest back to back?
No.
Okay.
The pets have to do theirs in the morning, so they will be in the morning. I believe it's at 9 a.m. in the morning.
Okay.
And they will be on the, yes, it is, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m., and they will be at the Chaves County Courthouse lawn. Pets don't do well with costumes and hot. So
You don't say.
I don't know why.
I
don't know.
If I was forced to wear something I didn't want to that's highly uncomfortable, I'd want to get out of it too.
Most of them are embarrassed, but
Yeah.
they do a really good job. Once they, I'll tell you what, Elaine does a fantastic job because Elaine works on the pet costume contest. She also does some kennel type, competitions throughout. So she knows how to judge and knows how to put these things together. And so they will be there at 9 to 10 a.m. So if you want to see the pets, some of them may keep their costumes on throughout the day, but hey, you might see them running around there.
The committed ones.
Yes. And also I'm working on those ever famous foam parties.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
I had some last year. I have another group coming this year that promises to give me even more foam parties than I had last year.
Okay.
So kids and adults, I still have pictures on my Facebook. Everyone enjoys the foam
They're
parties.
a blast. I will say this: wear extra grippy shoes. It gets a little slippery in there.
Well,
after
it
about
is
20
in the
minutes.
street. It is in the street, so sometimes the asphalt
that helps.
is not as slippery as some things. We are working on a glow-in-the-dark foam for the evening one, so that could be really, really fun as well.
The glow up, I dig it. Now, obviously, we're going to have all along from essentially from 5th Street
Or
to,
the
or
Chase.
4th Street to El Toro Bravo. We're going to have that basically shut down from traffic. And all along Main Street, we're going to have local vendors, vendors from outside of town, obviously. And, of course, amazing food.
Amazing food. Wait, we got, before we move on, we need to talk about your said, we're going to talk about something important here.
You're absolutely right. There's something that piqued my interest as I was going over the schedule. I believe it is on Saturday.
Yes,
and
Sunday.
And on Sunday, okay. We are holding a Mike and Ike cornhole tournament.
That's right.
Now, this raised so many questions in my head. Like, my mind goes to one of three things. Either we're going to be throwing little bags of Mike and Ike's,
everybody's got to be dressed up in that
cornholes.
colors, or
right,
what?
or you represent teams based on your favorite kind of Mike and Ike, or is it Team Mike versus Team Ike, or, and this is where my mind was like, ooh, this is exciting. Did we get a corporate sponsorship from the Mike and Ike people?
Wouldn't that have been fantastic?
Could we get Mike and or Ike here?
That would be really, really cool. But it is a true tournament.
Okay.
There will be prizes.
So this is a company, an organization that basically puts on this tournament.
That puts on this tournament. Now, they are going to be behind the stage on the south side. So the 100 South Block, 200 block, okay? They need a 50-foot by 50-foot space, so they need a really big space. Now, this space to do this, So it is a true tournament. I didn't realize how big cornhole tournaments had gotten.
We've talked about this on our morning on Mike's morning show, but you would be amazed when you think of any random sport. There is right now an entire organization devoted to a professional version of that. Did you know there's professional tag?
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's kind of like.
What do you mean? When you run around and tag each other?
Yep. But the course is like parkour essentially. It's like an American Gladiators course.
Yeah.
A bunch of these different levels, and you've got these like expert runners trying to evade these people. They're just trying to tag them.
Yeah.
And I sat and watched full 10-minute matches of these. They're entertaining as all get out.
Well, that's a great way to work out, but at the same time, wow. Imagine the stuff that we used to do when I was a kid. Not you, but I'm not sure you guys played tag because you're quite young. But back when I was a kid, we did stuff that didn't cost much, like running around chasing each other, right?
Shooting each other with bottle rockets, lawn dart parties. I mean, the options were endless for us as kids, really.
Yeah, I mean, I went over to UFO Fizz the other day because they've got all kinds of stuff.
I love that place.
Yeah, I mean, UFO Fizz has a great new sign out there. If you have not been there, they've got candy, they've got retro candy, they've got all kinds of fun stuff. But I said, do you by any chance have, Jax? You remember Jax from a long time ago? I said, I really would love to teach my granddaughter, my actually great-granddaughter, how to play this. She's 4 years old. And I thought, marbles. You remember marbles?
Do I remember marbles? My mom for a little while lost her mind in the late 1900s and early 2000s. She would go marble hunting. My mom would go to random houses around town, some of the abandoned houses, and literally every time she'd go out, she would find marbles. She had jars of these.
Because some of those are really very cool.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember what were the big ones called?
Shooters.
Okay.
And like the ones that most people know are cat eyes. There's a couple of different varieties of them. But yeah, so we had houses our house was full of marbles. My mom lost her marbles and then went and found them one by one.
I thought you were going to tell me she literally lost her marbles
and then
she came back after that.
And she had to find them individually.
But anyway, that guy, like I said, neither one of them are called Mike and Ike, or one of them's called Mike, the other one's Wesley. But they need an area at least 50 feet by 50 feet. So that is going to be really, really cool. And then they also sent me a pretty and cute, I'll show it to you. There is their little logo of Mike and Ike. Doesn't even look at all like what you would think.
Not at all.
Not at all.
That's terrifying.
That's terrifying.
I want it on a T-shirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so that's so very cool. So that's going to be happening both Saturday and Sunday, and it's tournament style. So if you've, and I know there's some guys out there and some ladies who cornhole is life. It's like that's their thing. So if that's your thing, come on out and show off.
And I didn't even know there were levels and they had names. So hopefully I'm not saying this wrong. But Saturday, July the 5th at 4 p.m., they're going to do a blind draw.
Okay.
I'm not sure what that means. Sunday, starting at 10 a.m., they're going to do a switch oleo.
Okay.
I've never heard of these things.
Nor have I.
But, bring your chairs. It's going to be fun to watch and watch the competition. So, and directly behind that, I must say, because I don't want to tell everybody that we're stopping right at a certain spot. There's a lot happening across 2nd Street.
Okay.
So in front of the UFO Museum, there will be things happening there. That will be where the Galacticon is at. There'll be food trucks. And once again this year, we're bringing our I'm not bringing them. They want to come. But our 40-foot tattoo trailer.
Oh.
It is the only, apparently, certified indoor tattoo parlor type thing. Mobile. It's a mobile, and it's 40 foot. It's going to be kind of close to the UFO Museum. Last year, Sean, I had to let them stay open late. Their lines were down the street.
It's hilarious to me that in even in dwindling economies, even when we're struggling, the tattoo industry has never been hotter.
No,
people want to it's there. It's an escape, and I understand. We need every escape we can get these days.
I mean, they open up the back end of that because it's like an RV. It's huge, so they open up the back end of it. I mean, you see they've got tables in there. They've got all of it set up. I've seen people getting their backs done, their legs done, their arms done, whatever you want. So they'll be there. They're called Locote Tattoo.
Okay.
And of course, then we have our stage that's on in front of El Toro Bravo. Behind that's a cornhole, and directly behind that is a car show.
Oh,
so we do have a car
okay.
show. We are working on another. I don't know 100% sure. We're not like jilled everything yet, but I planning on having a group from Texas who is only going to be showing top of the line cars. I'm talking about Maseratis, Ferraris.
Okay.
So some of those cars that you only hear about and you wonder what they really look like.
Right.
So we're going to start off with a traditional car show, and then we will move on after that. The next ones will be these others. It's called the First Annual Street Invasion Car Show. It'll be from 10 a.m. till 3 p.m. There will be prizes. There will be something happening out there. So if you want to put your car in there, people have called me. We also have bikes that are going to be part of that. So we do have some lowrider bikes there. So we invite everyone.
Absolutely. And by the way, and one thing I wanted to touch on, we're going to have some amazing food vendors. Both the explosion of food trucks here in Roswell that I've seen over the last year has been phenomenal.
Golly.
But not just that. We're going to get some great folks from out of town bringing in, stuff that we've never tried before.
Exactly.
So that's really exciting. But I'm going to suggest don't sleep on El Toro Bravo, because we're going to have that stage right there set up so you can be out and enjoying Proud Pete or whoever's up on the second stage. Then you just pop into El Toro Bravo. They've got a beautiful setup.
You know what they do?
Air conditioning. Air conditioning. Trust me, it's going to be it will be appreciated. So don't be sleeping on our local eateries as well.
Yeah, don't miss those. Don't miss those eateries. We've got Martines. We've got a pizza place. If you've not been to a pizza place, my husband and I have been there a number of times, and we've tried something different. And their pizza is great. Their sandwiches are great. They're great people.
I just had a regular spaghetti with meatballs there one time on a lunch special. Just phenomenal.
Yep.
Great stuff.
So we do have a lot of locals, so don't miss out our local Main Street merchants. They also have T-shirts. They also have fun stuff that you can get. Jewelry, dresses, clothing, knickknacks, just anything that you would like. It's right down Main Street, so while you're walking around burning up, step into one of the stores. CS Designs has a few things that you'd like to see. She's a dandy. Always has wonderful things there.
Ancients of Days is down there. I mean, you got Star Coffee if you want to just pop in for a quick coffee.
Yeah.
There's and this is also fun too for our downtown merchants, because they really bring their A game when it comes to sidewalk advertising.
Right.
Because you see a lot of the wacky waving inflatable arm flailing tube men. You see some creative signage, aliens and alien dolls in costume, and that's the fun part is our local area merchants kind of get to play along.
Yeah, they get into it. Like, for instance, CS Designs, they started selling teas. So some of them are actually taking what they do inside out to the street. Okay. So not only are they're going to keep their store open, they're going to have a vendor booth just right in front of them selling all kinds of flavored teas.
Nice.
Daniel over at Moonrock Outfitters, they're going to be putting up that ever famous climbing wall, and it'll be right in front of their building, kind of on the west side of it. But if you want to do some rock climbing or some wall climbing, that's a great place to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget about Bricktown. I mean, this is the exciting part about for as a local to watch tourists come in and see that it's the alien thing, but there's also a lot of really cool off the beaten path things. There's the spacewalk. There's I can't think of the name of the place, but the virtual reality on 2nd Street. There's Bricktown. There's a lot of these really cool. There's the Miniatures Museum.
Yes. And guess what? The Miniatures Museum is Nancy, who's part of our committee, and she was talking about some of the wonderful things that they are planning. So it's not like a regular museum, and not that there's anything wrong with the regular museum you can't touch. Theirs is more, come in here and touch the stuff we got.
Because there's such
make something.
Every display, you're like, oh, I want to turn on the little light, or I want to make the the horse, go over here, and that's it's like a return to childhood almost.
It is, and so so Nancy already kind of gave us a little teaser. They're working on a float that's going to blow it out of the park. So she's like, I'm not going to tell you too much, Barbara. It's going to blow it out of the park. It's going to be great fun. But of course, part of our district does include La Gran Victoria, Peppers, McDonald's,
Yoli's.
Yep, Yoli's, the Paleteria.
Yep.
Oh my goodness! The other day I had lunch with somebody, and I said I was across the street at Peppers having lunch, and I said, next time, can we just go to the Paleteria?
Yeah.
If you have
get
not had
Dory nachos and a scoop, it's great.
I mean, and get something to eat there. But we have some great places downtown. I think when you're a local, you don't realize how unique and fun our community is because you kind of get used to it because you're here.
You take a snapshot of Roswell at a certain time. Like, for example, myself, the snapshot that I go to in my mind is from about 15 to 20 years ago when, Main Street Roswell was suffering because it was, payday loan places. And they still have their place, of course. Yeah. But it was just nothing but that. There was no excitement. There was no life to downtown. And now we've got the coffee shop. We've got, pizza places and restaurants. And there's, slowly but surely, there's a Main Street nightlife being built.
And it is. And I'm glad you brought that up, Sean, because, Main Street Roswell, we are organizing the UFO Festival, but our main mission is to revitalize downtown. Absolutely. Is to bring more businesses downtown. I have calls pretty much regularly on a weekly basis. Saying, hey, what are you going to be doing here, or what's going to happen with this building
with this square foot of space?
Yes. So that in case you didn't know, we have a new coffee shop that's opening up on Richardson. It's called Degenerate Coffee.
Okay.
And it is within the 300 to 400 block. It's within that area on Richardson Avenue.
Okay.
And as I drove by there, because the guy that owns it, Tanner, he used to be a board member of Main Street. So I'm beginning to see how this is all coming together. It's a little skinny little area, but it's going to be great.
So is that kind of that space over there by where the Miniatures Museum is and all that?
It is probably about 4 storefronts to the south from there.
Got it. Okay.
So you have the what is it? The library. What is that called? The library park.
Yeah.
So you have the library park.
Friends of the library.
Yeah.
Books Again.
So you have the library park. You have Books Again. Then you have another area that just as I was driving by there yesterday, there was 2 young ladies working on that business. It's getting ready to rent. So if you are looking for some place to rent, you will be like, then there's another business that I can't think of their name, and then there's Degenerate Coffee.
Sure.
So that to me has been a block that I've called for quite a while, Rockin' on Richardson, because I'm trying to figure out how to revitalize that specific block at a time.
And even taking that little corridor, that library park, and kind of making it its own thing and revitalizing it, that's special. It's a special little block. I just looked at the time. We got to wrap things up.
Sorry.
No, of course not. But UFO Festival is going to be a great time. For folks who want more information, it's ufofestival.com. And that's a comprehensive list of everything you need to know that is UFO Festival.
Yes, the full schedule of events is there.
And the crunch time is here, but you can still reach out to Ms. Barbara if you want to be a part of UFO Festival. How do they go about getting a hold of you?
They can actually just go to ufofestival.com, and there will be a place for you to, like my email address, it's events@mainstreetroswell.org.
Okay, there you go.
So just events@mainstreetroswell.org.
Super simple. Miss Barbara Gomez, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
Let's rock it out.
All right.
It's going to be a good one. 3 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Let us pay a couple bills before they kick me off the air right now.
Lights, camera, action. Get superhero savings during our summer blockbuster sales event going on right now at Roswell Ford. Hey Roswell, you don't need to be a hero to pay zero. Drive home a new Ford with 0 down and 0 payments this summer. Plus, at Roswell Ford, everyone gets employee pricing. You heard right. At Roswell Ford, you pay what we pay on our huge inventory of new Fords. Stuck in your loan or lease and want out early? Roswell Ford can get you released, even if you owe thousands more than it's worth, regardless of make, miles, or condition. Don't let the credit villains keep you from driving your dream car. At Roswell Ford, getting approved is a possible mission. So you can pay what we pay. Your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to find the best car and get massive American-made savings and the best car buying experience. Get on board at Roswell Ford, because we'll do whatever it takes to make a deal. 821 North Main Street in beautiful Roswell. Call 575-623-3673 or online at roswellford.com. Interest accrues from date of sale on select vehicles. Trade balances refinanced to new loan. Subject to lender approval. Offers not combined.
The Apostle Paul writes a letter to a preacher named Titus who is ministering on the island of Crete. The inhabitants of the island were about as far from God as they could be, yet Paul sends Titus to preach the good news of God's grace and forgiveness. The world we live in today seems like it could not be further from God as well, but Jesus was sent for the world of today too. Hear these words of Paul to Titus. For the grace of God has appeared that offers salvation to all people. It teaches us to say no to ungodliness and worldly passions, and to live self-controlled, upright, and godly lives in this present age, while we wait for the blessed hope, the appearing of the glory of our great God and Savior Jesus Christ, who gave himself for us to redeem us from all wickedness and to purify for himself a people that are his very own, eager to do what is good. This same call is open today. No matter where you find yourself, God waits for you to answer the call.
Join us at the Country Club Road Church of Christ for worship at 10 a.m. on Sunday, located on the corner of Country Club and Washington in Roswell.
In a medical emergency, every second counts. Artesia General Hospital's emergency department is open 24/7, staffed with highly trained professionals ready to provide life-saving care when you need it most. Don't wait. When minutes matter, trust Artesia General Hospital. Quality emergency care close to home. Learn more at artesiageneral.com.
Growing things in Roswell is a battle. Your lawn's trying to turn brown, your trees are wanting to turn yellow, the weeds want to take over, and the fleas and ticks are trying to move in. So come down to Roswell Seed Company and choose your weapons. We have fertilizer to make your lawn lush and lovely, iron to keep your trees nice and green, sprays to kill the weeds, and more sprays to chase away the fleas and ticks. This is Ben Manette from Roswell Seed Company. Yeah, it's a jungle out there, except it never rains.
The great one, Mark Levin, is now in Roswell on 106.5 KEND Roswell.
Black smoke